So we are doing a casted stream of Joshua Essex and Jay Andrew Powell's game tonight. So Dino and I are going to be, looking at what they're doing, spectating, giving our opinions, speculating. So should be a good time.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like a charge and spike versus through the void gate game tonight. Should be good. It's going to be ISA versus Marcher Worlds. Do you want to go through what's in the list, Sneaky?
Yeah, I'll do Josh and you can do Jay. So Josh is running, who is the Marcher Worlds player. He chose to run Corvus for his hero. Fiddles is also in his list, so he's rocking double heroes. Fiddles is using the Particle Blaster for his turret. We're running 3 jacks here. So one is a Strike Raptor with the Ace Cortex. For arms, we've got 2 battle rifles. For shoulders, we've got a Cyclone Cannon and a Railgun. One of the Dust Wolves is a Neural Net with a Flamethrower, Battle Rifle, and Rocket Pod. The other Dust Wolf is classic Shooty Boy Scout, 2 battle rifles, and a railgun. We're rocking 2 engineers, a Ranger Fire Team with the Warder attachment, 1 Coalition Weaver, and a couple Midnights.
Okay, and over here on the ISA side of things, Jay is running some of the new Kickstarter stuff. We're also going to be, one of his Morningstars has the Gate Crasher item. It's the gate launching ability for ISA. He's pretty convinced that it's getting nerfed to where it's just like the Cypher card. So just a note for the stream, he's only going to be ever putting up to 3 arc on there when he gate launches. But his list is 2 Morningstars, one of which has the Exchanger Cortex, so that's where he can just free charge it up when he activates with it. Maelstrom Cannon, which is the 10-inch spray, Starburst Missiles for blast, Assault Shield, and Grenade Launcher. His other Morningstar has the Defender Cortex, which basically lets him shield guard if you're familiar with War Machine and Hordes. 2 Assault Shields, so it makes him Armor 6, Gatecrasher, and a Null Cannon. Firebrand, he's got with the Reflex Cortex, Shield, Maelstrom, Assault Rifle, and Bayonet. This is like pretty much the bread and butter build that I see a lot of people run with their Firebrands. For solos, he's running a Siegebreaker and 2 Weavers. For squads, he's actually got 2 squads. He's got a unit of Annihilators and a unit of Enforcers. So there is all of his regular 8 choices. For his solo, he's actually gone and taken Wojtek Sudal. I love this choice. Wojtek just really messes with the way that the game gets played. I think he's very strong. I'm kind of curious to see if his stealth comes into play at all this game.
It is worth noting that Wojtek is the only model in the game that has base stealth. So that's
right.
Really, really nice.
And of course, he's got his mantlets over here. The mission we're playing is Boiling Point. That's the name of it.
This is Boiling Point, yes, on the Factorum 2 map on Tabletop Simulator.
So there are 3 zones. One at 6 inches up on each side, just outside of each player's deployment zone, and one. The way you score them is you have to end your activation scoring. So it's end of activation, not end of pulse round, not end of turn, end of activation. That's very important for a few reasons, but it makes it to where, if you kill somebody with that second Fury on your turn, you're not scoring that zone still, even if you are the only one on it. So end of activation scoring, first pulse round, all the points are worth 1. You can only score each zone 1 time per turn, per pulse round, excuse me. And then second pulse round, they're all worth 2. Third pulse round, they're all worth 3. Interesting thing to note is I've seen a lot of games come down to, that 1 point somebody scored over the other one on pulse round 1. So while, it doesn't seem super impactful that they're only worth 1 point, it can change the game. So just keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely. So it looks like they're setting up their deployment right now. So considering that Josh deployed first, I'm assuming he's going first. He put out his Strike Raptor and a Combat Engineer, classic Marcher World start. And
yeah, now what do you think about him putting him on the side of the board where it's only got the one objective?
I'm not a fan of that because it's not going to allow him to threaten the board as much with his later deployments. So by starting the engineer,
Yep.
I was gonna say by starting the engineer over here, which is his solo. Now what he could do is just drop a gate back here. And then he's got these two zones locked down, so that's an option. But if he started on the other side, he'd be able to walk the engineer up, toss a gate out, in the closer to the other zone or in the middle, and be able to threaten more objectives. So we'll see what he decides to do.
That's true. Yeah, I tend to agree. Oh, it looks like they started the first turn. So it looks like that engineer is tuning up and not moving.
I think he decided to renege on the not moving.
Did he charge? Okay, there is an arc underneath that tune-up token. Yeah, I think it was a mistake putting the engineer on this side of the board. I think that he's going to have a very hard time getting that engineer into a useful spot later on in the game. I think that ideally he probably should have put the engineer a little bit more to the right and had the Strike Raptor just fly and get on top of the building.
Yeah, well, because he's going to double activate in this situation, I probably would have just started in the middle for two reasons. One, because it allowed him to spread out. The Strike Raptor can come over here towards 3, and the engineer can come over here towards the middle. Toss a gate over here in this general area. Oh, you can't ping. Over here in this general area, that way you can threaten both of these objectives. And then since he's able to double activate, he can move. And then by starting in the middle, it also makes it much harder to counter deploy. So because he started over there in the corner, this Morningstar over here is completely safe. And because it's a gate drop Morningstar, that Morningstar can put stuff in a place that is going to be potentially way safer from the Strike Raptor next round as well.
Right. I think that, like, as you're seeing, like, deployment, whereas it's super simple, you only have 5 deployment cost of things that you can put out, and both these players have chosen, solo heavy. There's still just a lot of little micromanagement, interesting, like, important decisions just from deployment. Did Josh play a first turn Cypher? Doesn't look like it. I think I still see 5 cards in his hand.
And
he's doing exactly what you were saying, where he's putting his gate like right there. Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing the repercussions of him putting both guys on that one side that's got less scenario involvement for the game.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a decision that ripples throughout the entire game as we watch.
Yeah, I agree. And then also, even though he's running the 8th Cortex, he's not running the super long-range version of the Strike Raptor. So he's not going to be able to reach out and touch across the table. So depending on how Jay deploys...
He's almost the super long range. I mean, I think his ranges are 16, 20, and 18, 18?
It's 14, 14,
because he's got
18,
2 battle
20.
rifles.
14,
well,
14,
the battle
18,
rifles
20.
have the thing. The battle rifles, when they're charged, they have +4 range, I do believe.
Yeah. So he's got 2 battle rifles. Yeah. So it's 18, 18, 20, 14. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he seems pretty super long range to me.
Okay, never mind. My apologies. I thought he had something. I thought he had switched out the railgun, or switched out something, for one of the battle rifles. That's right. My apologies.
Yeah, so I think that this side of the board is actually super good for this Strike Raptor. Don't get me wrong. I think that having the Strike Raptor to where it's going to be sitting on this side of the board and just terrorizing the whole rest of the board is very strong. Because if he sits that Strike Raptor on the side of the objective where it's closer to the center, he can potentially get line of sight lanes onto both objectives. The one is going to be a little more tricky because there are some crates that are blocking the way there. But something sitting on the middle of the left side of that objective from that one spot, the Strike Raptor can see both objectives pretty well. So I think the Strike Raptor putting it on that side was a very good decision. I just think he didn't want to spike off the arc to fly.
Yeah.
And I think that might have hurt him in the end.
I think one of the other things is if you wanted to play for this objective over here, what we've noticed is that people don't really appreciate ladders. So starting over here in the middle, he could get over here to this ladder, and then next turn he could be on this point. And then also
actually, yeah. I mean, if that's 5 inches from the ladder, like if he could walk up 4, be within an inch of that ladder, use up his other 2 to do the ladder move on top of that building, and he probably never even would have needed a spike for it.
Right.
That's actually a very good catch there.
Especially since these 2 things are obstacles right here, he can just make a beeline straight for it, and I'm pretty sure that's
could he? Because that one looks like it's more than an inch. The one right next to the barrel.
It's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay. We don't have tape measures in spectator mode, so my assumption was that it was taller. I still don't even think he needed to, even if he couldn't walk over that, I think he had the range to get there.
Yeah, I agree as well.
But if he was still speed 5 like he was in, before the official rules came out, then I think it becomes hairy. But I think with him being speed 6, it's much more, straightforward.
Yeah.
Now Jay, on the other hand, has started his turn. I did not see him play a Cypher either. This is something that surprises me, because I know I tend to say, hey, you play Cyphers, even if they're not optimal, just keep playing them. Play as many as you can, get them out of your hand. Sitting on Cyphers is just limiting you from getting the things you're going to need later on.
Okay, and it looks like so he did the classic play where he charged the Weaver and then charged the Morningstar up with 3. This one does have the Defender Cortex. It looks like his plan here is just to have it sit on this point. It's got cover from basically every single direction because of these little
correct.
These little barrels right here.
Between the barrels, the vents, everything. Like he's pretty well protected in that position. Now that is one of those positions I was talking about where, this Strike Raptor was sitting in a certain spot on this objective, he would be able to shoot him.
Yeah, well, funny thing is,
I don't know why Jay is measuring that out, because
technically
he can't. I can't imagine he can see over that bat.
Technically, the jacks are taller than this bat if you're using true distance. I don't know exactly because I measured stuff out before we started doing this, but I think even then, just because of the the angle, I still don't think you can see. But he might just be trying to figure some things out for next turn. I do think something I noticed.
That guy also has null, right? So
yes,
the null cannon. Let me see what its range is.
It's range 14. Currently, it's range 17.
17, yeah. So he's just outside of 17 is what that measurement looked like it showed us anyways. So very little reason to speculate much further on that.
Yep.
Looks like he's probably using that gate crasher ability right now. Or maybe no. Maybe that's just a regular gate. Because he was saying that he wasn't going to put 5 on it, but he put 5 on it. Oh, there we go. Got the arc.
Okay. Something else I think worth noting that I noticed is that Josh only put 4 arc on this gate over here, so he's got 2 left in as well. So I'm guessing we can expect to see an Arcane Synthesis next turn. Although if that was the case, I think he might have put 3 on it, so he may have just been hedging his bet, hoping that he drew it. We shall see.
Well, I mean, he didn't. He only discarded 1 card, right?
Correct.
So I mean, that would be balls of steel right there to think that you're going to draw your arcane synthesis off of one card.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a chance.
I'm all for you, dude. Like if that's the way you play your game and it works out for you, then you go for it. But
so it looks like, so I'm really confused by this. It looks like Jay played Arcane Synthesis for his second cipher in order to put one arc back onto the Defender Morningstar.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that one.
It looks like
I mean, he's probably like, because ISA a lot of the times I feel doesn't necessarily need the arcane synthesis because of the Weaver interaction. It's kind of like a luxury card for ISA a lot of the time.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be activating a Weaver. And one thing, the Gatecrasher ability and Gate Launcher does a few things. It's actually kind of like a double-edged sword in a lot of ways. Because what'll happen is you can summon in some stuff on this first turn, but you're not losing your 2 activation tokens. Right? Normally, like over here, Josh is going to lose both of his activation tokens. I don't think he bothered to put them out because they're going to go away automatically. He's got nothing left on the board, so the first step is the ready step, and since everything has an activation token, they all go away. The one consideration with this whole Gatecrasher build is that you're suddenly putting out things that don't have activation tokens, so the first turn efficiency of just getting all those activation tokens off on your second turn goes away instantly. So now if I had to guess, I would say that Jay probably has Encrypted Command in his hand, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I would guess that as well. Now,
unless he is just okay with losing those activations.
Yep. Now Josh is about to activate. Now what I would do here is I would get that Strike Raptor up on top of this building in order to deny cover to these Annihilators. So we're going to see if he...
Well, here's the thing. The Annihilators, it doesn't matter. Well, oh, I see what you're saying. So deny cover to the Annihilators, then sure, you can spike it away and take that shot.
Yeah.
But you didn't get cover.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably going to be hurting real bad if you try and do that.
Yep. And
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Plus he's got, he does have one strafe weapon. I'm not sure what the distance is here, but I'm pretty sure that he'd be able to get off that one strafe weapon into this front Annihilator, and probably the second one back here as well.
I believe that's his shortest range weapon, actually.
It is his shortest range weapon. That's why I was saying the front Annihilator. So he should lead off with that. Now, normally, people want to lead off with the battle rifles, but he should definitely lead off with that Cyclone Cannon, because otherwise he's not going to get these guys in range. And getting in those extra attacks is super important with that Defender Morningstar setting up there, because if he can knock out two of these Annihilators, if Jay doesn't have Impulse Inducer, he's going to have a real bad turn next turn.
Oh yeah, 100%. I definitely agree. I think even if he does have Impulse Inducer, I think it's a rough turn. Because at best he's getting one shot back on that Strike Raptor.
So it looks like Jay is not going.
It looks like he's lining up for some stuff.
Yeah, it looks like he's not doing the ladder play, so he's making the scenario play.
Well, did he even play a Cypher card again?
He did not.
Okay, well. In my opinion, this is a slight mistake. I think you increase your efficiency so much if you do just try and play these ciphers as often as you can. You just machine gun them out of your hand. Yeah,
and see from where he's at, where he got, he's still out of range of a bunch of stuff. So by not taking advantage of this ladder, because this ladder would have gotten him about an inch here, an inch worth of ladder, an inch from the ladder plus his base. So he
only had enough movement last turn. If he had used that ladder to just get up there, his base would have been probably parallel with these barrels.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, he could have easily just gotten down. I think that was a missed opportunity. And plus, if he'd have gone up there already, he would have been able to take shots, then move down and be even in a safe position.
Yep.
So I think there were some missed opportunities here. I think it's fine, but I do think there were some missed opportunities. So it's looking like he can get a battle rifle on one of the Annihilators, and he can get his railgun on pretty much anything up there he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's good. Well, so if the one battle rifle can hit the one Annihilator, it means he's got 2 chances at that Annihilator.
I think he can do.
Jay?
I think he can do both the Annihilators because they do. It looks like they had it on the snappy thing, and it said 18.1, and so with how it snaps that.
Well, yeah, it's very awkward to try and do elevations in TTS. It's almost like an acquired skill.
Well, if you put your line and you set it to 3D, it does it for you. So discovered that the other day, and it's been accurate. So.
Oh, there's dice being rolled.
We're making some attacks here. Let me zoom out.
Well, it looks like Josh might have fully blanked out there.
Yeah, he rolled a 1 on 7 dice.
A 1? Oh, wait, no.
All right, we're rolling a second attack. Ooh, okay.
That's a 7. It's a juicy 7.
And it looks like Jay also rolled a 7
on Jay's side.
Yeah.
So the attack he missed twice. This is his. I'm assuming this is going to be his railgun.
I assume this is the railgun. Yeah.
Oh, goodness, that's a 10 versus a 2. I really hope this was against the Morningstar.
Yeah, me as well. Because
honestly,
the Morningstar is out of range. Yeah, the Morningstar is out of range to Impulse Reciprocator back. So this should be. All right, what's this roll?
That looks like
a 12.
That's a 12. That's a 12.
So that's
if this is on the Morningstar, that's 2 boxes of damage.
That's 2 boxes of damage if it's on the Morningstar.
It's
on the gate. It's on the gate.
Oh.
So that's 3 points of damage on the gate.
3 points of damage on that gate.
That was a good call.
Spicy.
That was a good call.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I do think that's probably more valuable than going after that Defender Morningstar. Because one thing about that Jay's going to have a hard time with later on is this Defender Morningstar is literally sitting on 3 arc, and he's got no good way of getting it all off. Now that he's ended his activation with it, and he's got an activation token.
Yep.
Agreed. So that could be something that comes back to bite Jay later.
Yep. So Jay does not have an Impulse Inducer.
I know that when I was trying out the Extreme Gate Crasher build.
It looks like we discarded Encrypted Command.
Oh, is that confirmed?
What confirmed?
The Impulse Inducer. Impulse Inducer.
Oh, I don't know. I said if he has an Impulse Inducer, it's going to be a big deal. Now, Jay just started Encrypted Command. It looks like he chose not to activate his Engineer, which I think is very, very smart.
Oh, he just didn't choose. No, he chose. He had to have activated it.
No, the Engineer's in the same spot.
Is that the same spot? Because it's like, okay.
Maybe it is on a slightly different spot. If he moved it just that much, then that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, I feel like that was a huge mistake. I do think that's an interesting idea that you were talking about where, maybe he didn't activate it at all. I like that. Ooh, I like what he's doing over here.
He's got a Fiddles and Corbus.
Yeah, so
the Hero Squad.
If you're not familiar, Corbus has like a really cool ability where he can shield guard. Well, it's shield guard. It's called something else in here. Basically, let me pull up the name of the rule real quick because I don't want to say it wrong. It's called Guardian. When a friendly model is targeted and hit by an enemy attack while within 5 inches of this model, you can choose to have this model hit instead. What makes this really good, though, is you do not want to lose your fiddle. That vehicle is very strong. It's very powerful. You definitely want to get 1 activation out of it. You really want to get more than that. But he's just kind of hedging his bets and making sure that Jay cannot remove that vehicle. Because Corbus is just going to say, hey, I'm kind of a low opportunity cost hero. I can take these hits, and Best case scenario, I survive and I'll go up and score that objective next turn. Worst case scenario, I make sure that Fiddler's getting an activation.
Now, two things that I would note here. I think he made a big mistake putting Corvus and Fiddles within 2 inches of each other versus an Annihilator squad. And I'm really not a fan of this gate placement. Because I feel like
I think his bigger problem is he's got Fiddles.
All right, we're impulse inducing. Okay.
Who's impulse inducing?
I don't know. I just saw an impulse inducer drop on the field. So, am I going crazy?
No, I see an orange card that's over in a discard.
I definitely saw.
Conviction countermeasure.
The other thing might have happened. I think Josh may have dealt, and Jay was giving him his impulse inducer back. I definitely saw an impulse inducer drop on the field. I'm not crazy. Okay. We can watch the recording.
These Annihilators are about to get 2 shots each. He did not play Encrypted Command, so all Jay is going to get to do is use these Annihilators. One thing I'm kind of curious about is, okay, so I guess he just placed him at the bottom of that ramp. That would have taken up 2 inches of his movement.
Yeah, that's as far as that guy can get forward.
If that was, oh, that's right, because they've only got 4 inches of movement.
Yeah,
that's correct. So I actually foresee a really sneaky play here.
Although it does look like, because of where he placed, they're actually not going to have line of sight to Corvus on most of them, which is good.
Right.
I think he still should have spaced them out, but we'll see. We'll see how they play that.
Well, Sneaky, how far back do you think Fiddles is? How close to the edge of the board do you think he is?
Oh, from Velocity Protector?
I think we're about to see a hero Aegis play.
He's within 3. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Corvus.
Oh, I think what's going to happen is Corvus is going to soak up some shots.
Yeah, because
that Aegis, if Fiddles looks like he's going to live, the Aegis is going to just slam him off the board.
Yeah, and I don't think Josh is going to see that coming. And the Aegis has 2 opportunities to make that shot. So
right, because reiteration, this squad right here is arguably one of the best squads for reiteration complex in the game. I think this is a huge tempo swing too. Now, I am not seeing an activation token on that engineer, so this actually also gives another level of problems. Okay, so the first strafe is a 0 strafes. Because if this works out and that engineer indeed did not activate, then all Josh gets to do in that final pulse round, unless he has the impulse inducer, is activate that engineer. And he's going to not like that idea.
Okay, so if I was Josh, this shot goes through. I'm not going to shield guard this. Okay, still would have dealt damage, but the dice were not there.
Well, here's my thing.
Okay, that's what he chose to do. He's probably going to hold the shield guards until the end, when Fiddles is close to death.
Well, here's my thing. This one Annihilator can't shoot at Corvus 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
I think there's probably 2 Annihilators that might not be able to, but I'm not 100% sure about that one that he placed all of them off of.
Yeah, this one I'm not sure about. I would rule it no, but who knows?
Yeah, okay. It's hard to say. Ooh, so looks like he blanked on.
Yep. So we're on.
Okay.
Okay, so he's going to Corvus. 3 on Corvus.
Wait, did somebody shoot directly at Corvus?
No, it was a strafe roll. This little red die right here, off to the right, is his strafe roll. That's 1 point of damage.
So Corvus takes 1 point of damage.
Yep.
I'm just going to put it out there. I'd be very shocked if both these models weren't dead at the end of this turn.
I agree. He's only.
I think that armor 5 makes it a thing, but the problem is if he can kill Corvus before he does his Aegis, the Aegis kind of just guarantees Fiddles dies if he hits.
Yep.
So
He can also guarantee Corvus dies because Corvus is within 3 inches of the board edge. So he can.
True, but I think that whereas I think Corvus is just going to die from strafes.
Yeah.
Although I guess there's probably only 2 models that can see him besides the. I don't know. It's very hard to tell what can and can't see.
It looks like that's what they're trying to figure out right now.
The question is that
so the thing is
furthest back annihilator, like if. Go ahead.
Oh, only 2 shots have gone through, so we've got 6 left, or 4 left. No, 6 left.
So that's a 3.
No damage.
Okay, so that's no. That's a 4. I don't know what's going on because it looks like Josh isn't even electing to roll defense dice.
No, he's rolling.
Oh, it's just going so fast. I'm not seeing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
On my screen, it's just been like, okay, I haven't seen those dice pop up at all. Like, he's been rolling. He's like, just go ahead and take it.
Now I don't. I'm wondering if this is the Aegis because I didn't see him roll a strafe dice.
Well, then if this is the Aegis, this should only be PAL 3. Doesn't matter. It won't hurt anything anyways because Corvus is armor 4 and the Fiddles is armor 5 because fair and balanced Marcher Worlds.
Okay, so now we're using one of the Annihilators. So I think he's just going from right to left, and so I think his Aegis just shot, which is a huge mistake.
Yeah, I think the Aegis should have been held for last, and oh my god, that's a good roll. That's a 5.
Versus a blank.
Versus all blanks.
Maybe.
No, this is PAL 4. Because the Aegis is only PAL 3 on its guts.
Yeah, the Aegis is only PAL 3, so.
Well, whatever he hit, he did 1 point of damage to it.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's going to be.
That was on Corvus, so looks like a shield guard, or maybe he targeted out the Corvus. I'm not sure. Why is he not rolling? Did they figure out that he can't see? These are probably the ones that can't see Corvus, and so that's why he's not rolling this strafe.
Okay, so he only beat him by 1. Oh, I wonder if he decided to take that on Fiddles because he only beat him by 1.
He should have.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean that probably shouldn't have done damage, only winning by 1.
Yeah, it's twice now that he's won by 1 and done and broken 5 armor.
If we're understanding correctly, that he just went from right to left, and
so I believe he's got 2 more shots. It gets hard to keep track with the strafes, but I believe he has 2 more shots.
Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time keeping track when I can talk to my opponent, like what all shot and how many times.
Ooh,
that's a 5. Ooh, that's dirty.
Versus a 1. The dice. Oh.
Okay, I think Corvus shield guards this 100%.
Yeah. Well, Fiddles has 2 more life left. Corvus has 1 life left, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would rather lose Corvus than have this is the shot where you're definitely going to take a point of damage, right?
Yeah, you're definitely. You're not taking 2. Okay, so this is the Aegis. Okay, so Corvus.
Yeah, he took it on Corvus. Takes that on Corvus.
Yeah, but now he just gets 1 more shot, and as long as it hits, Fiddles is dead.
Ooh,
it misses. It misses.
Oh my god, that's big.
That's
I don't
huge.
know. Oh. So I think he did save his Aegis for last, like you should.
Yep.
And yeah, I think Josh got incredibly lucky there, because that could have been very, very bad for him.
Yep.
I feel like if he would have lost both those things over there, that might have been. I mean, it's first pulse round. A lot can happen from here. But that would have been very bad. Now, if I'm Jay here, what are you thinking about him summoning?
He's only got 1
You think
arc.
that
He's summoning a siege.
Right. So
he's only got 1 arc.
Well, no, I mean you even summon at all, because what you can do is if you don't summon all those squads, suggesting whatever survives, all your active
I mean, it's an option. Yeah.
In this point.
Yeah, I agree. You might just not summon here. I really think this gate placement is a mistake on Josh's part. Because he should have put it.
Placement index.
He's gonna.
Oh my God, I didn't even mention that he put his gate. Oh, that was a huge mistake putting that over there.
Yeah, Josh's gate placement is terrible.
And the reason why we're saying that was a mistake is we're talking about the gate over on Josh's side, right by his Strike Raptor. Mm-hmm. The reason why that in particular was a mistake is because he's got that side pretty locked down, right? That side is safe. There's nothing attacking there. The things that can attack there, the Strike Raptor is probably fairly safe against. Mm-hmm. It's he's just going to overload that side, and all Jay has to do is say, you know what? I don't even care to target that side. You can have it. It's fine.
Yep. And because of this objective right here and the ways that he placed it, everything has to be placed behind here. So he's not getting further up the board. His Strike Raptor is actually going to be his furthest thing up the board from this side, which is a big, big deal. Yeah. If he had placed it on the other side of the objective here, even in the objective zone, he could put something out over here in these corners, and then he'd be closer and he can get further up the board with those models.
Honestly, I think if he'd have put it on top of the building, right?
I agree.
He puts it on top of the building. He summons some stuff on the building. Sure, Annihilators probably just don't care because they ignore cover with all their stuff anyways when they're charged. Mm-hmm. But it does give you like this opportunity. You can say that somebody kills a Strike Raptor. Well, you can move down that ladder. Say you want to start affecting the other side of the board, you can move down that ladder towards the center of the board and start making a move at those gates, those other objectives.
Yep.
I think right now, Josh is actually mildly lucky. He's going to score 2 at the end of this pulse round, and I don't foresee Jay scoring more than 2. So he's not going to be behind at the end of this pulse round, but at the same time, he's going to.
So it looks like a devastation optimizer came out on the Morningstar. So I'm not sure if Jay's setting up for an impulse inducer turn next turn, or if he's just trying to clear his hand out and hoping that tune-up stays throughout the game. Because a tuned up Morningstar defender is real hard to deal with.
Right, and you know, if you shoot at it, it can spike to. Oh, is he not going to summon off the gate? This is very smart. Like I think this is a thing that most players probably wouldn't realize to do. Mm-hmm. Now I don't know why he's putting the gate off of his Weaver. Honestly, if I were him, I'd be taking a lot of advantage of the fact that Josh hasn't really sealed his position on his side of the board. And I'd be putting a 5-arc gate, like right behind that wall, right in front of Fiddles, and saying, hey, you know, sure, you can kill my Annihilators. Go for my Annihilators. I hope you do. But I'm going to get 5-arc worth of things summoned next turn if you do.
Well, he can. He already has 5 arc out on the field. He's only got 2 arc to play with. So all of his arc is on the field right now.
Oh, that's very true. Yep. Oh, and I see he actually put his gate to where he can threaten that Strike Raptor. Now, I don't know about you, Sneaky. I think this is a mistake. I think he would be better served by just, you know, hard trying to force those 2 objectives that he clearly can get a commanding lead over. Mm-hmm. Because the one thing I've noticed about this scenario through my many games on it.
Okay, so we had an impulse inducer come out for the Strike Raptor.
Okay, that's big. Actually that's not that big. No, we're going into pulse round 3.
Yeah.
That's actually not. I really hope that Josh is not getting that.
He might just be trying to clear out his hand because he did put 1 arc on Fiddles. So I'm not sure what his play is here.
I hope he's not going to try and. Sometimes you see like, oh man, this would be an amazing turn if I activate this and this, and then, you know, when you're not thinking about it, sometimes you don't realize you're not activating a solo and whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen people do it. People that have played the game a whole lot, you know. I hope he's not gonna.
Now, in my opinion, what you attack here with the particle cannon is the Aegis.
Oh, you would. No. You attack that one annihilator that he positioned all the other ones off of.
See, I disagree because then he's got one annihilator left. He can't resummon them, and that arc is still stuck out on the board, which means that he can't. Which means he can't charge up this Weaver and scoop the arc off of the Morningstar at the end of the turn. And
well,
next turn.
My thinking is if he does the Singularity Collapse, right? That POW 4 probably isn't killing every single one of them. Odds are there's 4 models there, one of them survives, and that's exactly the position you want to be in right there. You want one of those annihilators to survive, and you want all the other ones dead.
Fair.
Because I would be very surprised if Jay was bringing Mortality Destabilizer. I do believe that he doesn't super care for that cipher.
That's true.
Just as me knowing him as a player. So I think that that's inside knowledge, and I'm pretty sure that Josh knows Jay better than I do. So
right,
I think
we're gonna see what he targeted because it died. Looks like he did target the Aegis.
That's interesting. I don't think that's a bad play. Don't get me wrong. That's probably not where I would have gone because I'm one of those hungry players. When I see that I can get that Singularity Collapse on an entire squad, I go for it.
He does also have a strafe weapon. Okay, good.
He's also got Smart Lock.
Yeah, and a strafe weapon. Okay, so that's what he would want to happen is for that one to die. Oh,
see, there we go.
I'm confused.
It happens. It's going to happen. You're going to kill a good number of them. It's not likely you kill every single one of them.
Oh, I agree. But he also has his strafe weapon. Which I think they were measuring out, and they were saying that these two aren't in, but they have to be because that's the one that they were summoned off of. So if they're not within two,
they have to be.
Yeah, because if they're not within two, then it was a misplay on
it was an illegal placement.
Yeah. So 5 and 1. Okay, so that guy's
okay.
Dead.
That guy is toast.
Now the question is does Josh leave this guy on the board, or because he got his strafe, is he going to take it? Now, what I would do.
Luckily, he got so many red dice on that one because his white dice were not doing it. It looks like he's taking the shot.
Looks like he's taking the shot.
See, I think this is a knowing that Jay doesn't like to take Mortality Destabilizer. I personally think this is a mistake.
I also agree.
Like, don't give him that free thing with the squad until he makes you, right? Because I think that he would have been better served shooting that strafe gun right at that gate.
And giving him that arc back, I also think is a mistake because now he can place that on one of these other gates, summon out more stuff, or he can place it on the Weaver and then do Weaver shenanigans. And yeah, so I think that was a definitely not a good play.
Yeah, I'm curious. This engineer doesn't have an activation token on it. Did he activate it last turn?
Looks like
I'm not seeing him move it up.
No, looks like we're going straight into deployment. He's now realizing that he messed up with his gate placement.
Now he's realizing what's happened.
Yeah, and is going to be really, really frustrated with himself. No, it's not going to fit.
See, now I think he. Yeah, he's.
It's
yeah,
not.
I think
No,
if
it's
he'd put that gate.
He was too worried about keeping the gate safe. That.
Yeah, and nothing was going to go for that gate, anyways, right? Like. When you see two heroes like that, and you have reiteration complex, and you're not in, Josh.
Nope.
You're out by a hair.
Yeah.
Now, what I think Josh probably does here is I think he'd be better served.
He just throws models, is what he does.
Okay, we've experienced the first tilt of the match.
Honestly, I think at this point,
No.
what you do is you bring in the infiltrators and a solo.
I
Because
100% agree with that.
yeah, because that way the Strike Raptor can leave that point and you can displacement index the infiltrators on. You don't need another Jack right now because he's got a full health, almost fully arced up Strike Raptor on the board here. There's no need for another Jack.
He's also got 4 of his 8 unit selections on this one side of the board that only has one objective.
Yeah.
Oh well. Okay, he did.
Nope.
Nope.
He's probably I bet you he's switching out to the neural net because there's so many things over here.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I don't think that's a bad call. I don't think that's a good call. I think it's kind of a neutral call. I think honestly he should just let that engineer be in a place where he's not going to be hindered by his own movement speed. I understand that he wants to get that tune-up out, but I think that he's hurting himself. Oh my God, he's putting out his Weaver over here too.
Yeah, he's got the second engineer.
I don't think he realizes how much he's hindering himself for later on.
Yeah.
I think you're exactly right. What he should have done is done some shenanigans with a squad. He should have placed a squad out there. Put the first member about where that Dusk Wolf is, and then he could have probably bounced the other one on the other side of that objective, like where he wanted to try and place a model off of that gate.
Yep. Yeah. His problem is he's just everything's. Yeah. See, that's where he should have placed the gate originally, right there.
Right.
If he placed
been a good place.
Yeah. If he had placed it there originally,
on top of the building, probably would have been the best one. Right?
True.
I don't think a lot of
agree.
players have wrapped around in their head how powerful ladders are.
Yeah, ladders are insane.
For people not watching, ladders in this game, what you do is when you're within... oh my goodness. The Dusk Wolf just started breakdancing. I didn't even know they had that available in the card. Anyways, the ladders, what happens is when you get within 1 inch of a ladder, you can choose to sacrifice 2 inches of your movement. Well, it's not even really a sacrifice because usually you make up the movement anyways. To teleport, or the correct term is to reposition within 1 inch of that ladder. And this almost always gets you additional movement.
Yeah, reposition the other side. And because it's everything is within, you also get your base size plus whatever the size of the ladder is. So assuming that these ladders are 1 inch, you get within 1 inch, you get the ladder's inch, and you get 1 inch from it, plus a 2-inch base in the case of the Strike Raptor. The Strike Raptor could have been like overhanging the edge of this building.
So like his engineer that's sitting at the base of that one building, if he wanted to use that ladder next turn, it looks like he would have to use, like normally it looks like 5 inches would probably just take him flat out to the other edge of that building if it was a flat piece of terrain. With the ladder, what he could actually do is he'd move a fraction of 1 inch, probably, maybe even 1 inch to get to that ladder. Sacrifice 2 more inches. The engineer's only speed 5, and he could. Yeah, it looks like it'd probably take him 1 inch because he has to wiggle around the building a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so he would be able to then teleport to the other side of that ladder with the back of his base 1 inch away from that side of the ladder. And for 3 inches, he would be almost touching that edge, and he would still have 2 more inches to play with. So I think that Josh at least seems to be inexperienced with the ladders. And I think that's like seeing these opportunities is a big part of play in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've gone on to Jay's turn. Looks like Jay did not allocate that arc.
No, he did.
Am I mistaking that? He kept it in as well?
He scooped the arc off the one gate. That's why he has 2 arc now. I think he's going for a Fury on the fiddles here. I think that's not the greatest play.
I think the Fury on the fiddles is a good idea. Is he within 10 inches, though? That looks like...
Well, Weavers are 12. ISA Weavers, remember?
Oh yeah, they're base 12. I'm sorry. I'm thinking the March World Weavers who are 10. That's my bad.
Did he
That
play a
looks like
cipher?
12. 10 looks close.
He did not play any ciphers.
Well, the first cipher, did he not play? Oh yeah, deviation optimizer.
He played that.
He had played that last turn. One thing I can say for both these players is that they seem to both be holding onto their cipher hand. I'm telling you what, whenever I'm playing into this third round, I'm either shuffling my cipher deck or I'm about to. There is almost no chance that I'm not. One thing I think that Josh or Jay is going to have a hard time with here is that Morningstar, unless he's running Ascension Catalyst in his deck, which I know is a staple for me, but some people seem to not feel the same way about that card. Unless he's running Ascension Catalyst, he's pretty limited in where he can move now because he's in the middle of some rough terrain. If you weren't noticing, he did only move 4 inches. It looks like he's making an attack. Sorry. Ooh. Now, my assumption is that I don't know what he's shooting. But Josh only rolled a 1.
Looks like he rolled a 9. This little wonky one is showing up as a 1. So.
Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, because if you hover over it, in Tabletop
like
Simulator, a lot of the dice will.
Looks like he shot the Void Gate because he only gets the 1 attack, and it's a null cannon. So I mean, that's not a bad play. Now, if he can knock this gate out, which it looks like we're gonna be close.
Looks like he got it because I see 5 just on these 3 red dice. Yeah, he 100% knocked it out. He only needed to roll a 5 because he only had 2 on that gate anyways.
No, he had 3. He nulled it. He already removed.
Oh, did he have 3?
Yeah, he already removed the original one. So that's big.
Okay, that's why I was stuck on there being on the 2.
Now what's he doing?
I'm kind of curious here too. So that was his null cannon. Actually, that's his only shot, right?
Yeah,
like that's
the only attack he can make. So unless he's playing aggression,
probably going to try and do a gate crasher thing here.
I don't know why he's messing with dice. He doesn't have another attack.
What is going on?
He didn't play aggression theorem. He doesn't have another null cannon.
Let me type in the chat. So that attack that we're not sure exactly where it's coming from did happen to do some damage to the Strike Raptor.
Yeah, two damage. So that's a huge deal.
And actually, shouldn't that Strike Raptor have been Def 5? You do not have an assault rifle, do you?
No.
You have 2 assault shields.
It can't have an assault rifle. The Morningstar doesn't have an assault rifle.
On your hover over. So I wonder if they're just going to rewind that damage and give him back that arc. Hopefully they remember to do that. That Strike Raptor, by the way, should have also... Oh, no, he spiked off the arc. So they did do it right. They did it right.
Yeah, because it wasn't a null attack, so they didn't get rid of the arc. It was just the damage.
Right. I was thinking he had 2 arc on him still. I had forgotten that he had spiked that one off.
Why?
So
Why did he just remove arc from that Morningstar?
Probably because he's doing a gate crasher.
A gate crasher. Gate crasher for 1? Okay.
Well, he's using the gate crasher to gate launch. So
yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, everybody.
So actually, the way he measured that, he could have probably gone up to 5.6 because it was measuring from the middle of the gate. And
I think he put the gate down. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was holding the gate, and that usually measures to the center of it when you do that.
Yeah.
So just be aware, unless he set the gate down and then moved it. I didn't see exactly how he did that. Either way, it's small potatoes, the 0.6 inches. That's one of the beautiful things about this game is that usually, unlike games like War Machine where that 0.6 inches will kill you.
All right, we've got a havoc spiral coming out. Into Fiddles. I don't see any arc on the in as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't see any either.
Nope, he gate crashed. He put all of it on his gate crasher. So he's really going for a tempo swing here, which means that this Strike Raptor is going to have to do a lot of work next turn. Hopefully it keeps its tune up.
Well, I mean, the Fiddles probably isn't going to get hurt from this, right?
Depends.
I would be shocked if he did.
Okay, so that's he beat him by 1. So it's a 4 and 1 coming in versus his armor.
I still
5.
don't think it's very likely.
Oh no, it's a POW 3. It's a POW 3 actually.
Yeah, I mean, Havoc Spiral, one thing that it does that's really cool is this is the cipher that can pull you as far as it takes you between the Weaver and yourself until you hit an obstacle, obstruction, or another model. So it's a cipher card that has a lot of potential to pull you out of. Wait, did they give him cover? Is that what's going on?
Maybe? I don't know.
Because I didn't see a damage roll come out. He definitely rolled a 2, and I only see 1 on the white dice over there.
Yeah, no damage roll came out. Nothing else is in range other than Fiddles. So
yeah, did you give Fiddle cover? I mean, I don't think it's super likely that it gets damaged, but it is possible with the 4 and 1 or the 3 and 1.
I'm just gonna add in because he shouldn't have it, just so
they
know what we're asking.
Oh, okay. Well, now he rolled a defense roll out of nowhere and got a 2, which means that the attack missed anyways.
All right, I'm confused. It's fine.
I'm a little bit confused. I'm trying to.
I'm not sure why he re-rolled the white dice instead of just deleting the red dice, but I guess maybe that's what Jay told him to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I suspect that they had they mentioned it, and just be aware, guys. These guys are playing on stream, and they're having people watch them that are not like so invested in the game. I mean, you're gonna make mistakes when you play, right?
100%.
I've seen play testers for this game make really it's easy to see all of somebody's mistakes when you have no skin in the game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you have so many things to focus on, like planning out, because we're not planning out their next turns. We're not, looking at our cipher hands, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to figure out what, is in the other person's hand. Like there's just, we have no skin in the game.
Right.
So it's easier for us to notice things.
I don't want any of you guys out there to be thinking that I don't want to say like that we're trying to say anything negative about their plays or anything. We're trying to point out optimizations, and hopefully that'll help you in your games say, oh, well, you know what? I saw that this was a strategy they talked about on SxWargames, and maybe I need to start thinking about these things as I'm doing stuff. This is real interesting. Jay seems to really want to start putting pressure on this side where Josh has like his everything. he's really interested in that side of the board.
Yeah, I think at this point, I just let that go, and I just focus on the other 2 zones. Like I've got 2 zones that I can score. He's got 1.
5. He's got 5 of his 7 remaining selections over there. Because once Fiddles dies, he's not a selection anymore. The hero's solo is already out. That means there's only 2 selections that can affect the other 2 objectives. I think that if Jay just works on locking down this side of the board, I think that even though it looks like he's down now, I think that he wins the long game.
Yeah, and I think putting that gate where he did in the first place was a mistake. He should have put it back here behind Fiddles. The one that died.
What is Jay doing? Did Jay just put a gate back in his own deployment zone?
He did.
I think that's a mistake too, because that Morningstar, I mean, we know that Morningstar can move back to that objective.
Yeah, with 5 arc on it too.
That, like I say, that to me that seems questionable. Something tells me he's wanting to put out his other Morningstar on that zone. I think that's his intention with that. He's going to put that other Morningstar. The further up Morningstar is the one that's going to move and start trying to affect the board. He did put out another unit of Paladin Annihilators, which is important to note. So it looks like Jay still gets to keep his tune-up. I did not. Oh, it looks like the tune-up for Josh is gone. Now, Josh, one thing he has going for him is he has all the engineers right there. So it's not going to be such a painful thing.
Yeah, the problem with that, though, is that the engineer that wants to... the only engineer that can get to the Strike Raptor, because these other two are blocking it, is the one that he wants to get on top of this building so it can get over here and drop a gate. Right? So,
well, here's one thing I think that I think what Josh needs to do is don't even worry about activating any of that stuff that you have put way over on that other side of the board.
I agree. I think
do
you
it.
activate
It's a mistake.
Fiddles. Mm-hmm.
You have to do Fiddles. Now, you do allocate to the Strike Raptor because this will keep the Strike Raptor more survivable. I think that's a very good idea, and I think you probably even just move that engineer up to tune him up.
Don't worry. He's real confused what to do with this arc.
I think right here the play is you charge up your Strike Raptor because your Strike Raptor is now defense 2-3 with one arc. It goes up to defense 4. That goes up to being very much more survivable. He's probably got cover from most things that Josh can throw at him, besides those Annihilators.
Yeah, he's got cover from anything that doesn't ignore cover.
Meanwhile, that Dusk Wolf is defense 6 right now because he's around 4 other things. Neural Net, what it does is every unit near you gives you an extra defense up to a cap of 3. He's a base defense 3. So that if you do that, the Dusk Wolf and the Strike Raptor are both fairly safe.
Yeah.
He is actually charging up his engineer. Also, the engineer that's pretty well blocked in.
Yeah. Plus, what he wants to do here is activate Fiddle so he can score this zone because he's scoring that zone over there. Right. There's no way he doesn't score that zone. So, yeah. but what we're probably going to see here is the classic Marcher World. I want to activate my Jax. Yep, Arcane Synthesis on the Strike Raptor.
Okay, so this is I hope he's not going to fall into the trap of, hey, I'm going to activate this Jack because I can activate this Jack. I think that would be a huge mistake. He needs to take Fiddles. He needs to activate him, kill as many of those Annihilators as he can, maybe even that Weaver. And then what he does is he scoots, because I believe the Fiddles has a move after shooting kind of thing. And then you sit as far back as you can.
No, I don't think he does. But yeah, I think he just goes in on everything over here. Now the question is what maneuver Fiddles used last time.
Oh, no, look, shoot and scoot. Immediately after resolving a range attack by this model can move up to 1 inch. The maneuver expires at the end of the activation. So I think, personally for me, what I think Fiddles does here, because nothing is going to be able to move into the 10 inches once he activates.
He's measuring from Fiddles. Maybe he just used all that to set himself up for next turn.
Well, one thing I can say is there's not a whole lot that he can really even summon, right? Like, he's summoning locked pretty much.
I mean, he still has.
He has his
5 points worth. Yeah, he has 5 points worth of stuff he can bring out. Yeah, it looks like
charging up that engineer was probably a mistake.
Oh no, looks like we're activating the Strike Raptor. Yep, we're activating the Strike Raptor.
Oh no. That's a mistake. Oh, he's going to have to eat that one later because I think this is a mistake. And
I hope he was targeting the Morningstar. I really hope it's the Morningstar.
I really hope it wasn't because the Morningstar I think might be in range to shoot him back at this point.
It was an Annihilator. It might be.
The Annihilators he's removing though. I'm not sure that Strike Raptor could have seen them.
Oh no, he attacked with Fiddles. He rolled 1 extra red dice though. I don't think it matters when you roll that many dice.
Well, and he only rolled a 2, right? Like Jay only rolled a 2. I'm not sure what exactly happened there, but Okay, so now he's going to be targeting that Weaver. This is a very good play. So now Jay has 1 Paladin Annihilator that he could at best move 7 inches with a displacement index and his regular movement. But that's not a super efficient activation. So Jay has a decision later on, hey, do I maybe not summon sometime? Do I or wait, are there rolling dice against him?
Yeah, I really hope this is on the Weaver because this is his ignore cover attack. So if it's not,
Well,
then
those Fiddles has Smart Lock.
right. But once
So
if
Fiddles
he's
ignores cover with everything.
well, if he spikes, oh, okay. If he spikes, then he can attack again, but then he doesn't get his smart lock. See, so now he's shooting at something that's in cover, whereas before that other thing he shot was not in cover. So that was just not
feels
good.
Like a mistake right here.
Not good target prioritization at all.
I am curious what maneuver he chose because I haven't seen him do the shoot and scoot yet. Let's see what all his Fiddles has available to him. For the listeners, he has guns ready. So that's the whole thing where if something moves within 10 inches of him, he can make a shot against him. The problem I have with that, going with that one in this situation, nothing is going to get within 10 inches of Fiddles.
The reason he rolled 3 is because he used the one where he gets an extra red dice for not moving. So we figured that out.
Oh, okay.
Now, why Jay didn't roll cover, I'm not sure.
Well, because Fiddles has Smart Lock. Oh, you're
no,
saying
he spiked.
Right here on this?
He spiked.
Oh, on the spike attack. That looks like a dead Weaver.
That is a dead Weaver, but he should have rolled cover. So, but we're too late now to correct them. But
yeah, I mean the rolls have been done.
Yeah, for the listeners, like that's something you gotta remember.
Well, here's the thing: taking out any 2 of those red dice, he still dies.
Yeah, probably.
And he beat him by enough. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, well, I mean, plus he gets another.
Roll 2 red dice, and if he gets a super strike, then it matters.
Yeah, well, plus he gets another. Fiddles gets another attack. So I think that
does he seriously?
Yeah, because he spiked and he only rolled 1 attack and he killed the Weaver and nothing else is in range. So he still gets another attack. So I think the Weaver is dead anyways.
Gross.
No, no, Josh, please put it on the other side.
Well, you know what? I think Josh right here, what he would be better served to do is just I don't think he's ever pressuring Jay's zone, right?
Yeah, he just needs to build up on the other zone.
Yeah, so fortify Fiddles because maybe he just says, hey, you know what, Jay, you're not going to kill my Fiddles with your 1 shot from your Morningstar. Which is a ballsy play, if you ask me, because, he's not getting cover. Fiddles only has 2 boxes left, and Aggression Theorem could end it for him. And then there's nothing over there.
Yeah, now he's already scored it, so he does have that going for him. So he doesn't have to worry about it until next pulse round. But if all he did was, because it's going to take him a while to get over to the other zone anyways, with where he's at and everything. So just securing those 2 zones and just winning 2 zones. If you win 2 zones the entire game, you win the game.
Well, one thing that Jay has done that is going to cripple him this turn is right now all he's got out on the board is 2 jacks.
Yep.
Right.
No solos.
No solos. So he only gets 1 activation this turn, and it looks like it's going to be a 4-inch move.
Yeah.
It looks like he might have played a kinetic accelerator just to get it out of his hand.
Yep. Now, the good thing is, though, is that normally in this situation, you would be stuck not being able to place a gate past your deployment zone. But because of the gate launcher Morningstar, he does have that option.
Well, here's the thing. He's got what? Oh, he instead of allocating, he took an arc.
Where did he scoop it from?
He scooped it from that gate. That gate had 5 on it. It's got 4 on it now.
Oh. Interesting.
That was a pretty good heads-up play. Now, what I think he's planning on doing is I think he's planning on summoning a Morningstar out of that gate. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that. I think he's doing a little bit of tunnel vision on just wanting to get these Morningstars out because they are seen as I would say probably the most efficient heavy in the game right now. Like, they are not arc hogs. They are pretty happy with just 1 or 2 arc. They don't really get many abilities that make it to where they are, they need the arc like all the other, like every other heavy in the game has an ability that makes them more survivable for having arc on them. Whereas the Morningstar really doesn't have that. The Morningstar just gets more range for having arc on him.
Yeah. Well,
So
he also has some really nice
I think
spikes.
that taking advantage of that is probably a good thing to do. And he's really not. He's had that one Morningstar loaded up pretty heavily most of the game. And hopefully he sees that might have been a mistake.
Okay, we just dropped an impulse inducer.
Right. And the thing is, playing the Gatecrasher Morningstar and the Defender is such a balancing act of what do I play, or how much arc do I leave where.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a thing that a lot of people probably won't super appreciate until they experience it one time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a very delicate balancing act.
Okay.
So now you'll see what he did was he measured to his Siegebreaker from his Morningstar. He's planning on leaving is it just a single arc?
It was
just
a
single arc on his Morningstar.
I don't know why he put Sudal out.
Well, I think what he's hoping to do is mess with that gate. The problem is, I'm thinking he's already within 8 inches of that Strike Raptor, and that Strike Raptor is fully loaded with tune-up, and probably definitely within 8 inches of Sudal, like right out of the gate. Sudal is not doing himself any favors right here.
Yeah, he's definitely got. So some things to note here. This Siegebreaker is only speed 4. Speed 5 if he charges him. And he's in rough terrain. So this Siegebreaker is not getting to this point. It's not happening. Now,
yeah, it's got to be a 2-turn plan for that.
Yeah. Now he has 1 arc on this Morningstar, so he can tank 1 shot on Sudal. So the Strike Raptor just goes all in on Sudal.
Well,
and then,
yeah, I think that is the play. I think you're right because Sudal doesn't have cover.
We're dropping a mantlet. Whoa, we need to
go all in on what?
We need to see what's happening over here. We just had a mantlet get dropped. What is happening?
Oh my! So he's not going for a heavy. He is going for an Enforcer squad. I like the Enforcer squad here. So the mantlet was dropped and then it was dropped. I think his smarter play here is to go with the Enforcers and then put a Weaver out. I think Jay is playing very, very strange into this rough terrain. Like, he has been just eating rough terrain the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are ways he could have mitigated a lot of this rough terrain.
Mm-hmm.
Early game, I did like his move where he had his Weaver going around the back of this big molten jar of fun.
Yeah, I agree. Like, if he could have kept the Weaver alive and got it up further and just started dropping gates on the other side of this building over here to threaten this zone, then I think that would have been huge.
Right. But, I think unfortunately his Annihilators have not survived as well as he was expecting them to. And I think that he's also fallen into this trap of kind of going for 2 plans at once. Because the second Annihilator squad that he dropped was kind of mid-board. It's like he didn't want to focus on going for either zone in particular. He just said, hey, I'm going to go for both. So I think that was a mistake. I think does Sudal have Pathfinder base?
I believe so.
He may. So I don't think it's necessarily a mistake to put him inside terrain. He does have Pathfinder base.
Yeah, but he's also out in the open with no cover. And
what's interesting though is that his Gate Jammer, he only gets that when he's charged. So it isn't. I would understand if there was this aggressive positioning because he's wanting to try and limit Jay's summoning from this gate, but it's not even doing that. So even
Yeah.
if Sudal lives, he's not really hurting Jay to let him live.
Yeah.
Um,
Because honestly, at this point, he doesn't care. He's got an engineer. He's got a fully arced Strike Raptor that's already tuned up. He has an engineer already set to remove the activation token because he doesn't have to allocate any arc this turn at all. So the Strike Raptor just walks up, shoots stuff, and then the engineer removes the activation token. So he doesn't care what comes out of that gate because he has a Strike Raptor that's ready to come out. He doesn't have anything that really threatens the Strike Raptor. Oh, are we starting off with an aggression theorem? Is that what's happening here?
I did not see the card play,
Yep.
but it looks like it.
Yep. That's an aggression theorem.
One thing I think might be really interesting is if Jay decides to double down on defending this one zone, and just actually, I kind of wish he would have scooped up his arc. If I'm being honest, I wish he would have scooped that arc up off of that gate because he's not having to allocate anyways.
All right, let's see what he's attacking
I kind of
here.
wish. I'm assuming it's Sudal. Yeah,
I
because they
mean,
just measure to it.
It would have to be Sudal.
Yeah,
So Jay still has to roll. Why is he rolling with cover?
I don't know.
Are they doing Jay's weird the rubble gives cover shenanigans?
Oh, that might be that. Okay, so what we're talking about is it has been discovered that some people play the game where rubble would give cover. And maybe that's why Jay has taken the risk of just eating cover so often.
Or eating the rough terrain, yeah.
And I mean, if both players have agreed to treat rubble that way, then that's fine. You can. Privateer Press has made it pretty clear they feel you can play this game however is the most fun for you and your gaming group. Okay, so if you guys say, hey, you know what, rubble giving cover is what's going to make rubble worth having on the board, then 100% you can play that way. And if you're a TO, you can run your event that way. But there's nothing in the rule book that says that rubble gives cover. And actually, a lot of the time, in the rule book, it's just rough terrain. It is just a detriment to you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the point of it, though, is to be rough terrain and to be a detriment. Is my thing. Giving it cover. I'm not a fan, especially since there's nothing in the rule book. But if if that's how you play,
I would be more okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
If it was you had to be fully within. With them playing it with this very loose ruling that you can just be touching, it feels very. I don't know. I don't like that. So what I think Josh is going to be doing here is trying to kill Sudal. 100% trying to kill Sudal. I think Sudal has to be the priority. But I think then he. I don't even know if he goes for the Siegebreaker at that point. The Siegebreaker is going to be pretty slowed down, and he's not even probably activating that Siegebreaker next turn because he really needs to activate his Weaver and just score those points. Something's got to activate there. He's got to score those points.
Yeah, plus he can position, whatever he summons out of this gate to really block. The Siegebreaker is not scoring that point, so the Siegebreaker is irrelevant. Siegebreaker does not matter.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there is the cheeky play by Josh where you could just summon 3 mantlets out of this gate. Opponents can't move through your mantlets, so you could just build a wall.
Okay. All right, so we just got the Guardian spike from the Morningstar. No damage, but
no damage because that is an armor 6 Morningstar. Okay, Josh, are you
okay?
What
so those
attacks have we done? I'm assuming
those were his 2 battle rifles.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the 2 battle rifles. Yeah,
so we have a cyclone cannon and a railgun left.
Yeah, there's
I'm curious
to
see where he puts where.
Yeah, there's nothing to debate here, Josh. Just just keep going in on Sudal.
Cyclone cannon into Sudal,
yeah.
Ooh, now Jay did have a really good defense roll. That was a 5.
And a 5 on Josh's end as well. Yeah, this.
So that final attack kills Sudal.
Yeah. And
this is gonna be pretty impressive if Sudal lives through all of this.
And you can see how much that cover providing just completely changes the game. And this entire template
Although-
here counts as cover, which is
So
crazy.
he did roll. That is a dead Sudal. Oh wait, there's Sudal's
Yeah,
one or two wounds.
3 wounds, 3 armor, but he already took 1 damage. So that is a dead Sudal.
Okay, I was like, because I know Artemis Fang is actually a 2-wound hero, and I thought she was the outlier, and so far she is. Okay.
Yes, she is the outlier. Now, what else can happen here is this Morningstar has had its activation token removed. So what Jay can do is drop use the Paladin Weaver, come in here, score this, and well, he's only got 2 arc, but he can charge up this Morningstar, and if he has Ascension
Well, he would have already
Catalyst,
scored it with his Strike Raptor, right?
no, Jay, I'm talking about next turn.
Oh,
Now, what he can do is if he has Ascension Catalyst, this Morningstar can get into melee range with the Strike Raptor. And that would it's not gonna matter a whole lot. But that could be a play. Oh, we've got a Fury coming in.
The problem is I think that Josh is so stacked on that side. I think Jay made a very big mistake by deciding to not focus on just getting those 2 far zones, especially once he had 5 of his other 7 units out on that side. Like, I think that was a huge mistake. It was going to take Josh a long time to move over to that side of the board and meaningfully contest. Like, I think that he should have just kept his Morningstar back on that point and just aggressively summoned things on that other side. Because unless Josh has that purple cipher card to take the activation token off his Fiddles, Fiddles only gets to wreck the world 1 time a pulse round.
I don't know what's happening.
So I'm not entirely sure. I think the Weaver.
So the Weaver rolled the wrong dice for its Fury roll, and then
it looks like he tried to do a cryo lock.
Yeah, he tried to do a cryo lock, but then it looked like when Josh re-rolled, Jay also re-rolled, which is.
So wait, why was there a re-roll?
Josh rolled 3 white dice instead of 4 white dice for his attack roll, and so and then Jay only rolled 2. I mean, he blanked out on the 4, so it doesn't matter in the end. But the way I handle messed up dice is if I mess up my dice and I roll less than I'm supposed to, then, or in any case, if I roll more than I'm supposed to, yeah, you either just add 1 or you re-roll and you take the lowest. So if I roll less than I'm supposed to, I just add 1 or add however many I need. But if I roll more than I'm supposed to, then I'm going to re-roll, but I'm going to take the lowest. Because if I rolled a 2 on 5 dice and then I rolled a 4 on 4 dice, I don't think that's fair. So I'm just going to take whatever the lowest roll was.
It seems disingenuous when you do that. That's something you should probably go over with your opponent before a game. Because sometimes you can get some bad feelings about that, right? Like somebody rolls that 2 and he rolled 5 dice, and you point out that he needs to roll another die, and suddenly they blow up the roll with less dice, and they're like, "Well, thanks for pointing out that I messed up the rules. It only benefited me."
Yeah.
It's a feels bad for your opponent at the very least. Now it looks like he targeted the Siegebreaker. I wonder if it was a conscious thought not to charge up the Siegebreaker, because I believe the Siegebreaker has an ability where he can automatically get charged whenever he gets targeted by an attack.
Let me check. I'm not sure if it's targeted or hit, because a lot of stuff is on hit. I will check.
Let me see. I've got it pulled up right here. Dominion Converter. When this model is hit by an enemy attack.
Okay.
Yep. You're correct.
Josh, please stop. Please stop.
He's won that side of the board, and he's making sure everybody knows it. Okay.
Just stop.
I really thought it would have been super cute if he'd have just put 3 mantlets out of there.
Josh, stop. Your Fiddles only has 2 health.
I mean, Josh is very confident in how well this Fiddles is going to do. I mean, I think that Josh could be in a little bit of trouble if Jay says, you know what, I'm just going to take this Morningstar into the pulse round. Just do it as your last activation.
Mhm.
You go into the pulse round and you just kill Fiddles. Right? Now, it's not super likely because you've got one null cannon shot and you need to take off those 2 damage.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if you succeed,
yeah.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to launch a gate closer to Josh's side of the board, and then you actually really start pressuring that zone, and that's worth 3 on the final round.
Yep, 100%.
So
yeah, this looks like they're taking a quick break, but we're still going to keep analyzing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the play. Like, you 100% just let this go. Like, why Josh is continuing to put gates here, I have no idea. Like, his
I
whole
don't know.
army is right here. Like, you need to spread out and
I
threaten
think he
multiple
has a
objectives.
Dust Wolf that he can summon outside of what's out right now, and that's it.
Yeah, that is it.
Um,
And he's got 3 arc on this gate. Like, he should be securing this zone over here that Fiddles is on. That way, it completely locks Jay out of the game. Because, like you were saying, all he has to do is get this Morningstar over here, drop a gate right next to this Fiddles. Fiddles can't activate. And then next turn, whatever he drops out of that gate kills Fiddles and takes this point. And then that swings the game. Because then he's going to go up in points.
Well, he would go up to 5 because he'll score the zone this turn.
Mhm.
And so he'd be 1 behind. Now, the problem with that for Josh is that next turn he has very little agency on those other 2 zones.
Right.
He would have to have just an amazing activation with his melee squad in order to really take advantage of those other zones.
Yeah.
So I really hope that I think that if Jay doesn't see that out, then this becomes a very dull game, and it's almost done at the end of this pulse round. But if he does see that out, I think we get a very exciting pulse round 3. So I do kind of hope he sees that.
Mhm.
It's you know what's funny is I think we're about to get in the 3rd turn of pulse round 2. But that was turn 3 of pulse round 2 for Josh, right?
I am not certain. See, he activated Fiddles. No, that was turn 2. He did Fiddles and then he did Strike Raptor. So that was turn. That
we
was
still
turn
have
2.
one more turn for him. This is only Jay's turn 2. Yeah, so he can actually really pressure. He could potentially even score that far zone.
No,
and
he
if he does
100% can score
that is
that
a
far
game
zone.
changer.
Yeah,
I mean,
he can
what
score
he
that
could
zone.
even do is move that. He could do a lot of stuff here. I really hope he sees his outs and he plays to his outs. Because whereas this game looks pretty one-sided right now, you can see how playing to his outs and moving that Morningstar in the right direction and just getting that gate out 5 inches, and then you get the summon off of that. He could have models right outside that wall, likely from Josh's zone. Probably a whole Annihilator squad, and I'm not sure what Josh has that could really threaten that.
The issue is that Jay still hasn't shuffled his deck, so his Arcane Synthesis is still in there.
I don't think either player has shuffled their deck.
Josh just did.
Ooh, I think we see something here.
Well,
I think we see something here. He's charging up his Weaver.
Yeah, 100%. The Weaver's going to go is going to spike to this Morningstar more than likely. But the issue is that he's got
I don't like that.
He's got 5 arc on this gate over here. So
yeah, you know what? I think that if he was actually going to make that commit play we're talking about, he has the basically. Oh, he doesn't have that Cortex on that Morningstar. He has it on the other one.
Retribution Intercessor. I don't even know what this does.
I believe that's the one that when you kill something near him, he gets a movement and can make an attack. So it's like, if you're familiar with War Machine, it's very much like Righteous Vengeance in War Machine. Jay not scooping the arc, Jay not putting the arc on the Morningstar, that's very telling for what he plans on doing for this next turn, and it's
a Weaver.
Worrying.
It can spike arc to the Morningstar.
That's true. I don't know. You gotta find a way to get that arc off of your gate. It's that 5 arc on his gate is dead arc.
He can't, because then he can't get arc onto the board because he doesn't have arcane synthesis. This is his only play. So he's going to move the Weaver. He's going to score this point. He's going to put an arc on this Morningstar. The Morningstar is going to move. It's going to gate, and it's going to bring out a 2-arc Annihilator squad. Like,
oh my god! Wait, is he actually?
What is he doing? Okay, that's game.
I don't know.
That's game.
I think he's locked himself out of the game with that move.
That's game.
I'll be right back, Sneaky.
Yep. Yeah, that's if he continues with this play and puts this arc on this Firebrand and activates this Firebrand, then that's the game. He's not going to be able to do enough work in order to score either of these 2 points this round. And if that's the case, then then he's going to be up 6-1. All that Josh has to do is activate one of the things over here, score this point. He's going to be up 9-1. And Jay would have to score every single point next turn in order to win. And that's not feasible. Yep, this is game right here.
This is game over.
This is game.
Because it's that's frustrating. I think that was
this is extremely frustrating.
I thought we had a chance to see, don't call it a comeback, but a comeback. But I think that he's pretty well locked out of that zone on that far side.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's never scoring that far zone where Fiddles is. And if he lets Fiddles live to the next round, then Josh just gets to score that for free. And he doesn't really care if Fiddles dies after that.
Yep.
Fiddles has gotten to score, so far he's gotten him 3 of his 6 points. If he gets to live to the next pulse round, he's going to be scoring 6 of a possible 18 points on this scenario.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even if Fiddles didn't kill a bunch of stuff, that alone, I would summon anything that's guaranteed to get me that kind of value.
Yeah, absolutely. So he just dealt a point of damage to something. Okay, so he killed the Warder. I think this is the Maelstrom. Yes, this is the Maelstrom spray. So beat him by 3. So this other fire team guy is dead. I'm not sure why he's going in on this fire team here. But yeah, it's a decision.
Honestly, at this point, I think Jay didn't see that out that he had.
If Jay attacks this gate, he is doing Josh a favor. Because if Josh should not summon his Dustwolf from this gate, he should not.
Yeah, I think that would be a mistake. And what's funny is I think Josh has set himself up to just activate that Strike Raptor again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I mean, this Strike Raptor, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I think the Strike Raptor has been good this game. I do not think the Strike Raptor has been absurdly good, like many people say. He's killed the things that he probably should kill, that any heavy that's sitting on 3 arc and tune-up should probably kill.
Yep.
But I don't think he's killed over his weight class in anything. He's just kind of adequately killed. Actually, I would say I'd
say the Strike Raptor is underperformed, but like even on average, yeah, even on average.
I mean, because think about it, he didn't put any damage on the Morningstar. He barely killed Sudal.
Barely killed Sudal.
I mean, I know if you were rolling, Sudal would have been done in like 1 shot. So
yeah, it took him 5 attacks to kill Sudal. It should not take you 5 attacks to kill Sudal. even with cover.
You know, even with one of them being taken away. Like, so I think that the Strike Raptor, I agree. I think he's underperformed. He's done just as much as he needed to do. I see. It's very strange to me because I'm used to seeing our games. I haven't really watched a ton of other people's games, but I know in our games, we have people. There are so many fights going on different zones.
Yeah,
and then there'll be a turn where somebody gets a lot of kills, and then that zone is out of play for that other person.
Yeah.
But
so
this game has kind of been a, not very, very stagnant, really. Like the players kind of set up.
They've picked their points and they've stayed on those points, and that's really it.
There's been a diagonal line drawn across the map, and neither player has left their diagonal line.
Yeah.
Now, Josh is just the lucky one that happened to put the second objective inside his diagonal line.
Yeah. Now this goes back to what Red Wolf was talking about on the Hyper News Network podcast, their latest podcast, episode 2. He talks a lot about zone. The whole episode is about zones of conflict, basically, and skirmishing, where to skirmish, like where the actual fighting happens, and it's almost always around objectives, because that's what the game is about. Now his is all about full battle size because that's what they play mostly, but the same thing happens in skirmish. And one of the things that he talks about, and one of the things that he says that they're going to be talking about more in the future, is when do you let an objective go? And I think this game is a great example of when to have that mentality of, I'm not taking that objective. There's another objective that I can take and hold and continue and get me more points throughout the long term of the game. So that's what my goal is going to be. So being able to read the situation of the game and the flow of it and react to it is really important.
One of the biggest abilities you need to play Warcaster at a higher level is just knowing how to play to your outs. And I think Jay had a game plan very early on of, hey, I'm just gonna walk across this board, I'm gonna kill whatever comes in my way, and then I'm gonna take the far objective, and that's gonna work for me. And I think somewhere along the way, I don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe he got a little bit tilted when he didn't kill Fiddles, especially when the Aegis attack alone could have done it.
Yeah. When he missed that last Aegis attack. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think maybe. I mean, that would put me on tilt. I'll be honest with you. When you have a guaranteed kill like that on a high priority target that isn't coming back, and you miss it over, a bad roll, it can be tilting. And sometimes you don't start making good decisions after that. Maybe in his brain, he's like, hey, I cannot kill that Fiddle now. I don't have the tools. I need to reassess my situation and start going towards this other objective. The problem is Josh was so fortified on that other objective, it was just very unrealistic to even ever go for it.
I think
I don't think there was any world where that objective would be.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think they're debating whether to call the game right now, because there's a lot of hand waving over Jay's deployment zone. Which I
think they are considering calling it, just because. Well, that's about to be turn 3. I can already almost tell you what Josh is going to do. Josh is going to spike that arc right off that Strike Raptor. That Strike Raptor is going to kill some things. I'm assuming that. I'm not even sure I would kill the Siege Breaker. I wouldn't be worried about the Siege Breaker. I'd probably go all in on that gate, that 5 arc gate.
Yeah, the Siege Breaker is out of. Yeah, he's just putting that engineer in the zone. The Siege Breaker is out of the game. Like it can move max 3 inches, which doesn't get it into that zone. Who cares about it? It's probably 4 inches away from the Morning Star, so it can't even get its melee attack into it.
Honestly, he's shooting at it. I probably wouldn't even shoot at it. He misses anyway. So
he shot at it with the engineer.
The high intensity.
Yeah, nothing else is in range. So
right.
I don't.
What I'm saying,
I don't think
Jay
that's a bad
doesn't
idea.
have any arc to put on him anyways. So
yeah,
that's a real heads up thinking right there. He's like, well, this is a free shot, right? If he doesn't have any arc to get that free charge on him, then there's no reason not to shoot him, really.
Yeah, for sure.
And Jay doesn't even have any weavers in place to really pressure the board with furies.
Yeah, he's got one weaver, but it's all the way across the board.
He has. My mouse is doing weird stuff. So he has 2 weavers. He has one on his zone.
Oh yeah, there's one over here.
Yeah.
But he's got no arc, so I'm not even scared.
Yeah,
of the
he has
weavers.
no arc. No furies are going to be super scary right now. Like I say, I think that the smart play right here. I understand that Void Gate is armor 5, and it's going to be getting cover from that barrel. But I think that that gate is the target right now.
Well,
I think that
the Strike Raptor doesn't even need to stay on that point. Like he can move it. He's already scored it. Like he's got 2 other things.
Right, but what you want to do is you want to make sure you have as many bodies on that point as you can, so that Jay has no opportunity to take it from you.
Yeah, I think
honestly, like over the next couple turns, what I'd probably be doing is that engineer in the back. I'd be moving him on the point. I'd move that Dusk Wolf on the point. Like, just make Jay realize he is not getting that point.
Okay, so we're shooting this Morningstar.
Oh, the Morningstar has no arc on it, so this is...
Yeah.
Actually, this could be mildly big, but it's only big if he was going to be able to score with something that could come out of the Morningstar this turn.
Yeah, he missed again.
So this pulse round.
Okay, that's a good roll. And Jay reciprocates with a good roll.
I'm curious, is that Morningstar actually getting cover? I guess.
Yeah. It's from this little sandbag thing right here. No damage.
The Morningstar?
He's shooting this one over here on the left.
Oh, he's shooting that one.
Yeah, the exchanger one.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I thought he was shooting the other one in the middle with tune-up.
Yeah, I agree.
But he is only rolling 3 defense dice. So yeah, you're correct. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. Now, thing to remember here is that Jay just shuffled, so he could have top decked our Arcane Synthesis. So if he does, he can scoop off of that gate, charge up his Weaver, then fully charge the Morningstar. So that is an option, but he would have had to have top decked Arcane Synthesis to make that play work.
But the thing is, even if he does that, he doesn't have a model that can get into that zone.
Yeah.
Like, sure, it'd be great if he could, kill the Strike Raptor next turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what does that really get him in the long run? Nothing, because the next turn, this is the final part of this pulse round. And Josh is going to get to go first, and he's not dealing with Fiddles, so Fiddles just activates and laughs and does nothing. And this engineer over here that's got his activation token on, he just goes up and he scores the zone, and Josh goes up to 12, and there's no way that Jay can actually win. At best, he would have to be able to score all 3 zones, and he could get a tie then. And I don't think Josh is going to let him do that, and I don't think that the dice are going to let him do that.
Yeah, I don't think, even with Ascension Catalyst, I don't think this Morningstar can get into that zone.
I don't think so either. That looks... Well,
that,
and I mean,
looks really
positioning.
Yeah, it looks really far away, but I could be wrong. So this thing's at the 15-inch mark. This is 5 plus 2, so 7 inches, 8 inches. He might be just barely be able to make it in there. Maybe it's going to be super close.
Well, let's say that the center of that zone is at the 15-inch line. An inch out is a 14-inch line. We'll say 13.5-inch line is where the edge of scoring it is. That Morningstar is like almost right on the center of that line. So he's at the 6-inch line, right? So he can get there. The range says he can, unless that terrain gets in the way. But he's not going to be able to charge it if he does that. Ascension Catalyst is just going to let him get there.
Well, yeah,
and maybe
he's definitely not going to be able to fully charge it, but this one does have the Exchanger Cortex, so he can scoop one arc and charge it. Now, if Josh is smart, what he does is he summons that, even just a mantlet. He just summons a mantlet in right in between the boxes right there, so that the Morningstar can't drop there unless he kills it. And, yeah, or maybe you just go in the full Dust Wolf.
Did we just see him? Did he discard or play? That's the last card.
I believe he discarded because he just drew, and he didn't summon.
Okay. That seems like a mistake.
So
I hope that's not going to bite him later.
He may have done it on accident.
To be fair, he only has 3 arc out on the gate. It looks like they're realizing it now.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he is summoning. Let's see what he does. I think mantlets here could be very interesting.
Yeah, I think
mantlets. I think are super cool for denying a zone.
That's not.
I do not think this is super interesting. I think this is a mistake.
That's not where you put that. That's not where you put that.
Well, I think that Josh has given Jay a little bit of agency in this game.
No, put it back where you had it a second ago.
Oh.
Put it back where you had it a second ago. No further back.
I'm still not sure his base can fit in there.
I don't think it can. You are correct. So he's gonna have to. I think the Morningstar is gonna have to kill. Oh, that would be a smooth move, dropping the Void Gate right there as well. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's gonna go for here.
I don't know why Josh is going in that direction.
Yeah, I'm a little confused right now. Well, Josh going in that direction, I think it's a punt fake kind of situation where, hey, does he realize I don't have anything else to summon?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
sometimes players will say, "Oh no, he's pressuring my zone. I need to kill whatever's near there."
Yeah.
But
he's gonna. I mean, Josh has. Well, the thing is, if he kills Fiddles, then he really messes him up because he can't bring Fiddles back.
Well, here's the thing. I think it actually becomes very easy for Jay to tie this game up if Josh does that. Like if this all goes down correctly.
Yeah. Because I think the play here is the Morningstar, the tuned up one activates, takes its one shot into Fiddles and hopefully kills it, and then drops a gate like we talked about before. And then if he can,
he's pulling arc.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just pulled arc. I think this is a mistake as well.
What's this? What Fury we got coming? And what's it targeting?
We have Volition Anchor. Is this the one that lets him reroll all attack rolls?
Yeah, -1 arm and reroll attack rolls.
Attack rolls.
Mm-hmm. So I think he's decided to just go in on this Strike Raptor, but it's too little, too late.
Yeah, I think this is. I hate to keep saying it like this. I think this is another mistake. Whereas I think even if he kills the Strike Raptor, I don't think he gets the zone. Well, now that he hasn't done Ascension Catalyst, there's no world where he gets the zone. Am I correct?
Yeah, there's no world where he gets the zone. Looks like it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, lots.
I almost foresee Jay conceding there.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Even though I think between me and you, I think that attack really didn't mean much of anything.
Yeah, it didn't, but it probably felt like it did to him.
Right. I think the smarter play would have been keep those 5 arc on that gate, because that gate is in a place to where the third pulse round he could do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Try and find any way you can to kill Fiddles. If he was able to kill Fiddles and get some guys on that gate and get them closer to that zone,
well, the thing is,
he doesn't have a real game.
He doesn't have 5 Arca stuff worth the summon. So he's got.
Does he not?
No, he only has 3 arc worth. He's got an entire Paladin Annihilator squad. So, but I think
Annihilators are too slow, honestly.
Yeah, I think the game was over when. I mean, he could displacement index them, but I think the game was over when he activated this Firebrand instead of doing the Morningstar gate launch to pressure Fiddles here.
The hero play, if you will.
I don't know if it was quite a hero play, but yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of decisions in this game, but I think that was the turning point because it really solidified that.
Well, I think that was the one that locked him out, right?
Yeah, it locked him out. Like it made it
that was
to
the
where
lights out play.
Yeah, that was you're just out of scenario at that point. Like if you notice,
right?
So there's just so many models over here. All these over here are just so far outside of the scenario zones. Like this one's, it's so chock full of models. And
that's actually a learning point for anybody listening or watching this.
Mm-hmm.
When you're putting out gates, be cognizant of where those models are going to be coming out of them and what objectives they can get to or what future gates they can give you, right? Because, it
can't fit there.
It matters a lot. Like Jay's first turns, he had those, like, you were not going to get a gate that was going to get somebody on an objective within one movement really easily. So, you have to understand where your gates are going and why you're putting them there. I think that both of these players have really... I think there have been some misplays on both sides, and I think Josh is just getting punished less for them. Because honestly, if Fiddles dies, if that Aegis knocks Fiddles off the table that turn, then I think
it's a completely different game.
Very, very different game.
Mm-hmm. Completely different.
I don't even think it is the game at that point. I think that Jay just kind of fortifies both those points and steamrolls.
Agreed.
Because all Josh would have had that wasn't on the board at that point, I believe, was the Dust Wolf in the squad. And I don't believe those two things are actually removing what he needs to remove from those zones. So, I mean, you can see how micro decisions, or actually in this case, I wouldn't even say they're micro decisions, like tunneling and tilting and making decisions that aren't scenario or objective based can really shape the way the whole game goes.
100%.
Like I say, I think that both players had a lot of agency in this game at any point. Even at the end of last turn, or the beginning of Jay's last turn, we were really talking about how he actually could turn this game around. And through a couple activations, that's when we both started to feel like, he had solidified, Josh kind of taking this game home.
I'm confused as to why Jay just rolled 3 red dice. I mean, he's attacking a mantlet. Yeah, he's attacking a mantlet. So I mean, I don't particularly care, but I don't.
Oh, he is targeting a mantlet?
Yeah. But I still, if he rolls 3 red dice again, I'm gonna say something because it's only got 1 arc on it, and it can only have 1 arc on it.
So where is all of Jay's arc? He's got 3 arc on a gate. He's got an arc on the Firebrand. He's got an arc on the Morningstar.
Mm-hmm. And he's got 2 arc in as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the mantlet's dead. Why that's relevant, I don't know. Because this Strike Raptor is within an inch of this box.
Okay, he's not rolling three red dice this time.
I don't know why the Strike Raptor is not getting cover, but it doesn't matter. It does matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game is very, very much done.
I'm also... Doesn't the Strike Raptor have 3 arc on it? Or did he spike
I think it
on
only has
Sudal?
2.
He spiked on Sudal? Okay.
Yeah, I do think it only has 2 because he's got...
Yeah.
He's got 1 in his well.
4 over here. Yeah. So
and
that's
4
7.
over there. Yep. So math checks out.
Why he has 4 over there? I don't know. I guess just in case the Strike Raptor dies.
Well, I mean, I think unfortunately, like even if he kills the Strike Raptor here, he's got nothing that can get on this zone. And all Josh has to do is activate the Weaver, activate Fiddles, and
the game's over. Yeah.
The game is over.
It's literally impossible to win at that point. Because it's going to be 12-3.
I mean, he would have to score every single zone
to tie.
To tie. It's impossible to win, and he only gets a tie if he plays out of his mind good.
Oh, he probably ignored cover. Does this guy have a Maelstrom? He does. Okay, so that's why he ignored cover on that one attack. Okay.
Oh, and this is probably still part of that attack, because I'm pretty sure he probably targeted the Strike Raptor and got the Mantlet.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know why I just rolled 3 white dice. Oh, it's from the grenade launcher. Okay, cool. So he just attacked with the grenade launcher. He missed, rolled the blast damage, got no damage. So now it looks like he's going to be going for the Starburst missiles. Is really the only thing that makes sense.
That's all he really has left, right?
Yeah.
He rolled a 4.
Get a 4. He can re-roll if he needs to. Josh rolled a 2. I mean, he's not killing this Strike Raptor, so I don't even think it matters. No damage.
Still a 4.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Actually, I thought it was re-rolling because it was the same dice, but it was the same dice for damage.
Well, no, he rolled two red dice. It was not the same dice.
Well, he would have beat him by 2, right? Because Josh rolled a 2 and then he rolled a 4. So it would have been the same dice.
No, because he only has 1 red dice for the attack roll. I don't know what he's doing now. Oh, he's rolling his blasts. Okay. Okay, so something just took a damage.
The engineer.
The engineer? Okay. The least... Who cares? There's 2 of them.
Right.
Why he didn't move there beforehand, so he could get his attack into the Dust Wolf, I don't know.
Yeah, because there was no reason not to do that, right?
Yeah, because he didn't have anywhere else to move. Like, he couldn't go anywhere else. Not that it mattered, but you know.
Since I feel like this game is pretty locked up, I'm just gonna say for anybody watching this, some things to take away from this game. Try and cycle your Cypher hand more. These players, they haven't really been digging through. I don't know what's in their Cypher hands. I don't know if maybe they had some configurations that had them locked out at the very beginning of the game. That's very possible. But they were just neither one of them really got through their ciphers for a very long time. I think both players have actually only done shuffling their cipher deck 1 time.
Yeah, they both cycled last turn, which was turn 2 of Pulse
Another
round
thing
2.
is to make plays and pay attention to the objectives and placing your gates to properly. Yeah, placing your gates to where whatever you summon out of them potentially threatens or gets you in a threatening position on a zone is very vitally, crucially important. I can't stress that enough.
So Jay is doing Josh a favor right now. He is
by summoning?
No, Jay is activating the Enforcer Squad and is targeting this.
Can he do that? He did the he used the Morningstar.
That's a good point. Or maybe he displacement indexed. Oh, he did displacement
Okay, it
index.
looks like
Okay,
displacement
okay,
index.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
he displacement index.
Okay.
My bad.
What did
My
he do
bad,
for
guys.
a solo? Did he do anything for a solo?
He didn't have a solo that could act. No, he had the Siegebreaker. He just didn't
And he had
activate.
that Weaver in the back, right?
Yeah, and the Weaver in back. I don't know. I don't know what he did.
Now this is kind of a this is rough because see if he'd have done the gate crasher that one turn we were talking about it, he could have had these enforcers sitting here ready to pounce on this fiddle. But now what's going to happen is Fiddles is going to actually get an activation before these annihilators actually get to activate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really concerned that means these annihilators just get annihilated.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a pretty frustrating situation to be in.
Yeah, and it basically went from.
And what's more is Fiddles is going to get just an outrageous number of attacks. It makes no sense for Josh not to activate Fiddles first because Fiddles just scores that zone and solidifies his lead.
Yeah,
he pretty much guarantees he can't lose the game.
Yeah,
if he activates Fiddles first.
Yep, Fiddles. Yeah, Fiddles went from Fiddles should have been Josh's first activation next turn, anyways. Even if he didn't get to shoot at anything, just for the scenario points.
Exactly.
So now that this squad is here, and Fiddles has something to shoot, Fiddles feels real happy. Fiddles is real happy right now.
Fiddles is getting extra value that he shouldn't have got. Yeah. Right? I mean, honestly, I feel like if Josh or Jay had even put another point of damage on Fiddles at some point, it at least makes Josh have to think about, do I need to put something else over here? And at this point, Josh has locked himself out from having anything else over here. So, it's just there have been some real back and forth plays that have happened that I feel like could have fundamentally changed this game.
Okay, it looks like all the tune-ups are gone.
Now, I think that Jay actually still has a chance in this game if Josh doesn't see that he has to use Fiddle.
Yeah. Now, the question is also, are these annihilators in Fiddle's range? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're measuring right now. Josh is measuring.
Yeah, I felt like that was a no-brainer they were in.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure.
Now, one thing one thing that would have had to happen is he would have had to play displacement index first on these annihilators, because the annihilators can't get to that zone with just their movement. It looks like they're probably more than 7 inches out of there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because they're 10 inches to the closest one. And that what's more is that obstruction makes it even harder. Or the wall, the sandbag wall.
Yeah.
They would have had to been closer to even do the little squad reposition in there. And if Jay even misdid that activation, if he did his or if he activated them and then displacemented on, because it's end of activation scoring, he could not have scored that zone in that situation. So there's some micro decisions that go on right here, and if you just play too fast, sometimes you don't realize that you could screw them up.
Let me check if Fiddles attacks this morning. I guess he's trying to see if he can attack it after he already kills this annihilator squad. Because if he tries to shoot this Morning Star, that's a huge mistake. Huge mistake.
Right. Honestly, I think he kills the 3 of these annihilators.
Okay, we're playing divination algorithm.
Oh my goodness. Like Fiddles needed anything else.
Yep. I didn't even know he had that in his deck. To be completely honest.
Although it's +1 range, most of the things were in range. I think this just put the Morning Star in range.
Yeah. So his particle blasters.
He's crazy.
Yeah. If he attacks this
because this is the weapon with the explosive collapse, right?
Yeah, because he rolled 6.
So this is going to be the first annihilator likely dead. That's a dead annihilator. And it looks like he's going to get a POW 4 on every other annihilator.
Mhm.
So this is big. If he can kill at least like 2 of these guys, that one's dead.
One's
Out of
dead.
here. Next one. If he kills another one, I think this is lights out. I think Jay could just concede here. Final one. No, so 2 of them did get to survive that, but Fiddles has another shot.
Yep.
And he's in
I
range.
don't know if he has line of sight on the Aegis, though.
I think he does because his base is so wide. Yep,
But
there we go.
No, he's got it. He has it on that Annihilator for sure. I don't think he has it on the Aegis. Because
I mean, I don't think he cares about killing the Aegis. The Aegis is speed
100%.
4. The Aegis isn't doing anything. He just needs to kill one more guy out of the squad.
Yep, 100%.
Jay must really feel like this dice roll is the game.
It looks like
he hit.
Yeah, it looks like we're using the Fiddles I don't move thing again. So yep, 3. It's a POW 5 actually. Because
he did roll POW 5, so he did shoot it.
No, he rolled 5 to attack. But it looks like he might forget about his divination algorithm here. We'll see if he fixes it. Doesn't matter. It's dead. It's super dead.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, he targeted the Aegis first. Weird.
That seems questionable to me, but
I don't know why he's rolling.
So what is he attacking with here?
He had a strafe. I don't know why he's rolling.
Oh, was that guy within 2 of the Aegis?
Yes.
Oh no, it's all coming off the wheels right now. I think that's game.
Yep, that is game. 100%.
Because Jay doesn't even have a gate on that side of the table.
And we're spiking so that we can shoot the Morningstar. Because why not?
Because why not at this point, right, Jay?
Why not?
That Fiddle is not going to get to activate again. Fiddle has been MVP this game. He's killed, what, 3 Annihilator squads?
Yes, 3 Annihilator squads.
He's killed 3 Annihilator squads. He's scored 6 points. Fiddle 100% gets MVP for the game.
So he beat him by 4. So he's got a chance of doing some damage here.
Doing the work. No damage.
Nope, no damage.
Honestly, I don't think any of this actually matters.
It doesn't.
If I'm being honest.
It 100% doesn't. No. So far out of range.
The spiteful Siegebreaker attack is what he wanted.
Just to be rude. Now the question is what does he activate here? Because I assume he activates either the Weaver or the Engineer, and then they just take a pot shot at the Siegebreaker. If they killed the Siegebreaker, then it's just rude. Looks like we got 1.
That's at least 1 point of damage.
Yeah, that's 1 damage. That's a 9.
So I think it doesn't matter which one he does activate here. I think he might even move this Dustbolt Scout and just put him in the zone.
Honestly, I think what he does. No, he can't. Because he activated
that's right.
Fiddles.
You're right.
I think what he does.
This is what happens.
Yeah, what he does is he activates his back Engineer and tunes up the Strike Raptor. That's what he does. There's a Weaver in between.
It.
Yep. Boom.
And then he scores up another 3 points, putting him on 12 to Jay's 3.
Yep, and that's game.
And I think that's game because I don't think Jay has any reasonable way to.
He's just taking a pot shot.
He's healing him. He's
healing him. Okay. Let's go.
No tune-up required here.
Yep.
They are both actions, correct?
Yes, they're both actions.
That's what I thought. So.
Yeah. Now the tune-up giving legit. Yeah, the tune-up giving extra defense. It's definitely a choice between those 2 actions.
Yeah, I think that's 6 one way, half dozen the other. I think because the Strike Raptor being armor 5 is much less likely to take 2 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the better pick to just say, "Hey, I'm going to give myself 1 more health to work with."
Yep, that's already defense 4, which is solid.
We see a Fury coming out.
Oh,
Pyrokinetic Surge.
Question is, what is he attacking with it?
He's probably, if I had to guess, either the Firebrand or the Morningstar. Probably that Morningstar, just because, that Morningstar is gunned out, right? He's got 3 guns. 2 of them are blast, and a maelstrom.
Yeah.
I think that's the play. I don't think Jay. Oh my god!
The dice 6 versus 7.
Okay.
All he cared about was the fire. All he cared about was the
Yeah,
fire.
and now the fire's on him.
Yeah.
He just put corrosion on himself. Okay, there we go.
Fixed it.
And
Yeah.
I don't even know if I would even care about the damage roll if I were him. But
no, you don't. It's got the fire. That's all you wanted.
He scored up to 12, and Jay would have to play one hell of a game from this point to be able to even tie.
Yeah, I don't.
And with as much as is on that zone there, I don't see it happening. Weirdly enough, I actually see that if this may sound a little ridiculous, the Ranger Fire Team, do they have base Pathfinder?
No.
No?
No.
Like, I almost see a world where they shoot and scoot, kill a Weaver, and if Jay doesn't take them out, they could displacement index to get further up, bounce forward, move up, give the Weaver no cover, shoot him, and then slip displacer onto his zone and 100% seal the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely an option.
It's an option. I mean, at this point, I think it's kind of a moot point. Like, I think it's, we know that Fiddles isn't activating again because he's got that remains in play purple card on him, and the only card that removes activation tokens from vehicles is
purple.
Is purple. Mm-hmm. So maybe Jay goes for a play where he can finally get an Annihilator squad that stays out on the board. Mm-hmm. Although I will say the Annihilators had their chance to be heroes and they didn't do it.
That's true. Well, the Aegis had his chance to be a hero.
The Aegis had his chance to be a hero, and I think he hit most of his other attacks except for the Aegis attack.
Yep.
Which was super sad.
Well, he hit the one Aegis attack, but they hadn't done enough damage because of line of sight, so it got shield guarded. But I don't know what's happening with all these dice right here. But I mean, honestly,
listen, I think Josh is just letting Jay roll whatever he wants at this point.
Yep. Honestly, 3 and 1.
Oh, is he throwing out a Fury? There's 7 arc in his well.
He just scooped everything.
That was not an impressive roll. It's an 8.
I don't even know what he's attacking. Because Josh rolled 3. So I don't know what is he attacking the scout right here?
He might be. What was he hitting him with? Havoc Spiral is what it looks like. So he took 1 point of damage. Nope, that's 2 points. 2 points of damage and gets pulled right at that Weaver.
I guess he's just trying to get it out of the way of his Morningstar or his fire. Well, it's not going to get it out of his way of his Firebrand. That's going to make it worse for his Firebrand.
Yeah, I think his Firebrand is borderline locked in right now.
Although it only does have one health, so the Firebrand can easily kill it and then move. But I just don't think that that's valuable. Because the Firebrand's not getting into the zone. And
my thing right now is, even if that Morningstar does activate and get in the zone, I'm not sure it matters.
It doesn't.
I don't know. I think this is just the This is just the plays where you're like, hey, I'm gonna do what I can to, do something cool by the end of this game, because.
Yep.
I mean, you have to do something. It might have been cool if he'd have been able to do this before Josh scored that zone, and at least make him have to kill this Morningstar to be able to score it, because sometimes I know I've been in those games where you just don't kill that thing you should have killed. I wonder if there's a reason he only moved 3 inches there.
Yeah, because he I think he can hop over that. Yeah, he should totally be able to hop into this little area right here, and he'd be contesting this zone. So I don't.
Well, it doesn't matter if he contests anymore. Josh has already scored it.
That's true, but he can reactivate them. I guess it doesn't really matter because he can react. Maybe he just wanted to be there for cover purposes, so that if he does reactivate, he can be in there. I don't know. Honestly, even if he kills the Strike Raptor, it doesn't matter. He can just he can just charge up this Dust Wolf neural net, who's defense stupid, depending on what comes out of this gate, or he just activates the scout and just kills whatever he needs to.
Yeah,
because if this scout lives, and even if then the Strike Raptor dies, if Josh has Arcane Synthesis in his hand, this 3-health this 3-arc Dust Wolf is just gonna murder things. And it looks like Jay, because he's got 7 arc as well. Jay doesn't have a gate anymore.
Yeah, this is
Okay, so we've got. I don't. I'm confused. Oh, because it's a melee attack, so that red dice wasn't there. He's really into these dice.
See, this is why I got the rollers, because I would do that for a long time.
Yeah,
and I
it just
felt like
slows the game down.
I was taking a lot of time out of the game just rolling dice.
Mm-hmm. And it
to
also
make sure that nobody felt like I had just done that thing where they just flip up in the air and they spin like sideways or something.
Mm-hmm. And plus the rollers just remove the agency from you, because I mean, like when you're actively rolling the dice, there's that like, well, maybe if I just clicked it one more time, With the dice rollers, you press the button and it's literally completely RNG. You have no impact on it.
So
okay, whatever that was missed.
This is the blast damage. That was on the Weaver. He had thrown the grenade launcher.
Okay.
I'm assuming this is a Starburst rocket pods.
I agree as well. It misses.
He rolled a 2. I think he's going to re-roll this because maybe he doesn't remember that he can re-roll it.
He probably forgot.
Rolled a 4 and killed the Weaver. I say that in a really excited voice, like something impressive or crazy happened, but it doesn't actually change the game state.
Yeah, not at all. Now, if he had re-rolled and hit and killed this engineer, and then maybe got a damage on that other engineer, that could impact some things, because then he could maelstrom through the Strike Raptor into the engineer. He'd be able to walk away with killing all the solos on the board. That would be a big deal.
That would be a big deal. It could be a big deal. I don't think it is a big deal, honestly. With the way the score is and everything, I think.
I agree. It matters. It matters little, but it could. It it helps. What we got? Eschatonic Well.
Eschatonic Well.
Oh, so now we're tossing a gate out. Okay. I see what he did there. Now the fact that
I really wish if he was going to do this, he would have done something like put his siege breaker 2 inches further forward and at least be able to summon something out of there.
So the crazy thing is that this has been in his hand for a while, because he hasn't played it yet, and he shuffled 2 turns ago. So
now he's doing this wrong because you have to target a warrior model with this.
Yep. Honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care, but
it's worth pointing out to the viewers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't think it's even worth mentioning it to them. We'll mention it to Jay after the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would like to hear how long he's been sitting on that. He's had it at least since midway through Pulse Round 2.
Yeah.
Now, one thing we have noticed is that both these players have had a lot of arc out a lot of the game. So maybe he just didn't have another opportunity like this to put that out. Unfortunately, he's about to put this unit of Annihilators out right next to a Dusk Wolf that is going to get tuned up, has Neural Net, and a Flamethrower, and a Rocket Pod. I think this Annihilator squad is not going to have a good time.
Yeah. I mean, or if the Strike Raptor still can activate, which has, I mean, it has one strafe weapon. I mean, I definitely think if
right.
yeah, well, I think if especially if he has Arcane Synthesis, because then he can just scoop, put it on there, activate the Dust Wolf, put it on the point, so it's even harder to score that point, murder all of this, and then the game's over at that point. If he murders this stuff and gets the Dust Wolf on the point, the game is 100% over.
Well, one thing to know is that Jay, did he activate a solo?
Yeah, he activated his Weaver over here and scored.
Okay, so he did score, so he should be at 6. Okay, yeah, we're right. Okay. I don't know why. For some reason, I missed. I for some reason thought he was on 6 all along. I don't know why. Had a brain fart. Oh my God, Jay, I think that's a pretty unfortunate placement the way you did those. Those annihilators,
because this Dust Wolf just sprays through.
Have a flamethrower.
Yeah, it's a flamethrower. He's got a rocket pod. He's got yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
okay. We're activating the Strike Raptor. Not, in my opinion, the best play, but it's fine. It's fine because I mean, Jay would have to kill the Strike Raptor anyways, so he's not going to be targeting this Dust Wolf, and the Dust Wolf isn't in position for any sprays or anything. So he could just be setting himself up for later turns, you know. And the Strike Raptor is going to be able to do work on these annihilators. What just happened? Displacement index.
They aren't charged. They are. Oh, is that a displacement index? I was like, oh my God, is he?
Yep, displacement index. Just to get these people in position. Yep. Nice. So now Jay has to worry about this.
Honestly, if he had charged them, I think they could have hit that zone. I think he could have further sealed this game.
I agree.
And like
we're healing the Strike Raptor again. We didn't tune up. That is surprising.
That is surprising, but you know what? This Strike Raptor's been living through everything anyways. Like I say, I think from this point, I think it's a 6 one way, half a dozen the other, whether you heal up the Strike Raptor or whether you
well the last time he wasn't going to be making attacks, but he's definitely activating the Strike Raptor this time because he just allocated to it. So I think this time you tune up. And honestly, if the Strike Raptor dies, it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. I actually think he would have been better served tuning up the Dusk Wolf, allocating an arc to it, and just unloading on those annihilators with the Dusk Wolf. Getting 3 in one spray is just too juicy for me. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't skip out on that because I'm a greedy person.
Yeah. So one annihilator just died.
Well, with him rolling 1 for his defense, I wouldn't be surprised if 2 annihilators didn't die here.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're using battle rifles right now because I didn't see a strafe roll. So.
Okay, well, whatever is getting hit by that, you can just remove that model. There we go.
Why would you attack that model? Now you can't strafe. Did Josh target that model?
Well, maybe he's trying to just shoot something else. Like, the annihilators are far less scary with lower numbers.
Yeah.
And he got a respectable roll. That's a 5 to Josh's 5.
Yep. So last shot. Yep. He's just taking it. Yeah, shooting that middle one and not setting himself up for a strafe.
Well, I think he was just trying to go for the ones not in cover.
Well, this one over here isn't in cover.
That's fair.
The one next to the Dust Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have.
It's fine. I think he's just happy just if he kills this down to one man.
Yeah,
that squad is
matter.
very mopey in that situation.
Yep.
And
it's
he
going.
killed whoever he was trying to kill there.
Oh, he's attacking the Morning Star. I'm a little bit confused.
I think that was a strange choice, but whatever. Well, he has 4 attacks. He only did 3 of them so far, right? He killed.
Yeah. So I guess this should be the railgun. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, this looks like the railgun. I see.
So
I see the spike coming up. I see.
Beat him by.
This is just.
He beat him by
This
3.
is just trying to add insult to injury right here. That's what this is.
Whatever he's attacking, he beat it by 3. If he's attacking this Morningstar, the answer is spike, because then he's got a chance of rolling.
100% spike here.
Because this one's only a 1 shield. Because he just needs an 8.
8, then you kill.
Okay, he rolled a 7. But yeah.
Oh, so I guess in that situation, it's better that he didn't spike.
Yeah.
He's still more durable this way.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't give up that point, he wins this game.
Yep.
I mean, as long as he doesn't give up Fiddle's zone, he wins this game. And I don't think Josh actually has the tools to be able to get up there.
We just saw an impulse inducer on the Strike Raptor.
Oh.
And we're summoning in our solos that died last turn onto this 4-arc gate for whatever reason. I would just summon in a bunch of oh, it's just the Weaver. I would just summon in a bunch of mantlets. Like just to get that arc off.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Just do the flex play and just put a bunch of mantlets out.
I mean, just get the arc off.
What is he doing? Why doesn't he just pick up that gate? There we go.
There
Josh.
we go.
Josh being the good guy and helping him out. Or I mean, Jay being the good guy and helping him out.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you put those mantlets down, these enforcers can't get into melee range with that Weaver. Not that it matters, but like I would free that arc up. There's no point to having that arc there.
I agree.
Now if he
plays, he just doesn't see that he can do that.
Yeah, or he's just keeping it there just in case something dies. What did he just discard? Interdiction protocol.
Yeah, I wonder if
now I think,
Jay is going through and realizing.
I think instead of playing Impulse Inducer last turn, playing Interdiction Protocol on this Dust Wolf would have been a better play. Because then you just that zone is done.
Yeah. I mean, and then you could have still Impulse Inducer at the beginning of your next turn.
Correct.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Jay doesn't want to have to target that Dusk Wolf. That Dusk Wolf isn't in the zone.
Right.
There's no reason to target that Dusk Wolf. Currently.
Correct.
Do I think that Jay is going to be able to get through the 8 wounds of armor 4 and 5 that he needs to get in that zone this turn? I'm not finding it likely. And I think that you 100% call the game if he doesn't score at least that one of these zones this turn.
I think a Cryolock just came out. And it looks like it missed.
They rolled a 4?
4 and 4.
Oh my god.
Yep. How are we putting 3 arc on this Firebrand? I guess he just skipped all the rest of it and just said Weaver. And then we're gonna come smack this other Weaver with the Whopping Stick.
The Whopping Stick. Now this Whopping Stick, I just want you guys to know, it's a null weapon, but it's also a Weaver killer because Sneaky Buffalo always just happens to roll crazy with his Weavers.
I never hit when I want to null something, but when I'm just taking attacks just for fun.
Did he do his spike and then move and then do an attack? I wonder if he realizes he doesn't need line of sight for this.
I'm not sure. Why did he just move him?
Slant? I think Jay is confused about what Weaver he's using.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, it should have been the same damage roll, very likely, because Jay, if he'd have done a more efficient, yeah, okay, Jay's moving it back. He took one of the red dice away. If he'd have been a little more efficient, that actually would have been the correct damage, because he could have done all that with an Archon and then spiked to fuel up the Firebrand. I wonder if that's just tilt coming in. I don't know. Yeah, that's
probably. Or he's also just not familiar.
Well, I mean, he really wants to kill something bad enough this turn that he's about to spray over his own Morningstar that has 1 health left, with a fully charged Firebrand. So
yeah, the thing is that like that's pretty much the only thing the Firebrand gets to do. You know, like its melee attacks are going into this Dustwolf Scout, which just don't matter. It's a 4 versus
doesn't matter
a
if he
5.
kills it accidentally.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like he
was a 6. No, he hit it. Okay, so the Scout's dead.
Scout's dead. Let's see what this engineer can do.
Yeah. So now
I mean, he's only got 1 health left, so chances of him surviving through this are pretty low, although he did only beat him by 1.
Yeah. Well, all he's
this engineer could live.
All he's doing is just letting him summon that Scout out of that gate next turn. And an engineer to go with it.
And an engineer, and he potentially was a Weaver for a second there.
Oh, I guess it's...
Which is exactly... No, he got him, didn't he? Yeah, he got him.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And now he's got to try and hit his own Morningstar. Now, one weird things with the sprays is it's actually one of your only ways to actually attack your own models. Oh, look, he preemptively knocked over his own Morningstar.
I mean, he rolled a 9, it looks like. I mean, he might as well.
Yeah, that's not where you want to blow up the dice. So he beat him by 7. That looks like lights out for this Morningstar, because on those 7 red dice, which he should have more red dice. Oh yeah, just out of the park there.
Just bye.
Yeah, may as well pick up the Firebrand too. It's not doing much else this game.
I mean, honestly, I guess he kind of maybe wanted that, because now the Firebrand can move further forward and maybe deal with that attack with an impulse inducer. Like if he impulse induces second Cyber Phase and then next turn he kinetic accelerators, he has a chance of potentially clearing that zone off.
Yeah, but that doesn't win him the game. It doesn't even tie it.
I don't know what he's attacking right now.
He's attacking the engineer with his assault rifle, I do believe.
Oh, that would make sense.
But Josh still continuing this onslaught of just insults with dice. Rolled a 6.
Yeah.
On a fraction of the dice, he doubled Jay's roll. Oof.
I mean, it happens. That's strike dice, man. That's the game.
I've played against you enough to know that happens. Okay.
It happens.
I'm pretty sure they've got to be considering calling it at this point, because it looks like Jay can't quite clear those barrels.
It doesn't matter if he can or not. Like, it's irrelevant, because he can't get onto the point. So it doesn't matter if he can clear them or not.
He can't get on the point. I mean, he may as well sit behind him if he can't get in there this turn.
Yeah, he may as well sit back there, get some cover. Hopefully he plays Impulse Inducer right now.
Drink a little drink,
Yeah, if he doesn't
take care of himself.
Actually, I bet he doesn't even run Kinetic Accelerator. No, he did. He played it earlier. He played it.
I mean, he likes Kinetic Accelerator. If you listen to Charge and Spike, it seems to be one of his favorite Jack cards, and he feels like it's pretty much a staple card.
Yeah, I mean, it 100% is an ISA. For AC, it can
Firebrand.
Yeah, for AC, it can be debatable. For Martial Worlds, you have to build for it, and for Empyreans,
I think you need to have some jacks where you're built for it. Like a fighter Dusk Wolf with kinetic accelerator is vomit inducing.
Yeah,
but
100%. Or like, Rockbusters on a Strike Raptor. Like, ugh. That'd be so nasty. All right, what?
Uh-oh, so it's Jay's turn. He's doing Encrypted Command, it looks like. Encrypted Command, it looks like this engineer is going to tune up this Strike Raptor.
He didn't.
I think he's going to put the nails in the coffin here. I think if he can kill this more... Oh,
okay, forfeited. Okay.
He said he forfeited. Do we want to go over to their channel?
Yeah, go let them know so we can do like a little after action with them, and just to make sure.
You want them to come over here?
Either works.
Yeah, why don't we just both go over there?
Well, I just don't want to go there with my stream and then it'd be full of salt.
Okay. He says to come on over.
All right, sweet.
See everybody later.
Okay. So that
I'm ending mine. So.
Okay. Okay. So that was a super cool game you guys just played.
He had me on the back foot since the bottom of one. The top of two. As soon as he knocked the gate out, is this gate that was sitting right here, that knocked it down to one arc. I was on my back foot the whole rest of the game.
Well, I think that the bigger spot that put you on the back foot was when the Aegis missed Fiddle. Because the Aegis is one of the only models that could slam him, and he was definitely within 3 inches of that board edge. That was a huge turning point.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah, because you had to move up to get to where you're at.
Yeah.
Is
that something you were considering, Jay? When you say
it was, but I didn't realize that Corbus could tank every single hit. I thought it was a once per.
No, so most things are a once per. The fact that is unique
the only
in
model.
that he doesn't have to charge and he doesn't have to be.
Yeah. If I had known that, I would have placed so that all of my guys could have strafed into him.
Right, and that's an easy fix. That's something you can look back on after the game and be like, "Oh, well, this is something Yeah,
I wanted to slam him off the table.
That's why I brought Corbus for that reason, because every time Fiddles hits the table, he's like a lightning rod, and like Spencer's removed him immediately. So I saw the opportunity.
I don't see how.
Empyreans are broken. That's how.
Phil has only lasted for more than one round in one of our games, and he didn't even activate that game.
Well, and I will say that Fiddle was 100% the MVP of this game.
Absolutely.
Yes, he was.
So it was Fiddle
3 Annihilator squads and scored 6 points.
Yeah.
He 100% MVP mode.
Yeah. So I think actually the problem for me, the struggle for me for the game was Fiddle and the Strike Raptor, because in where they're sitting, there's like 2 places, and they're all on my back edge where I can safely put a gate and have them not just be annihilated. So there was no way for me to encroach towards him, and because of the choke point of that where this Raptor is sitting, I never had an opportunity to contest or score this zone.
Yeah,
and because of where Fiddle's sitting, I never and how he blew my gate away early and then blew every Annihilator squad off as they showed up. I never had a shot of scoring that objective the entire game.
Well, one of the things that we were talking about a lot, because there were definitely some plays that could have gotten you over there, was that once you can go back and watch the stream. There was a bunch, but one in particular was the end of turn 2, pulse round 2. Instead of activating this Firebrand over here, that's when I called the game, was when you activated that Firebrand. You activate this Morningstar, and then gate launch and put your squad over here in position to go in this Fiddles, because after Fiddles activates the first time, he's done. So he's not
especially
Fiddles
because
would have
he's got
gotten to
that
activate
purple card
first.
already on him. So then the
No,
only
no,
card
no,
that
no,
removes his activation token.
In end of pulse round 2, or set turn 2 pulse round 2, so that turn 3 pulse round 2, you activate that squad, kill Fiddles, and take this point. And then at that point, the game
and that
completely...
Morningstar would have gotten a shot at Fiddles too.
Yeah, it could have potentially killed Fiddles, or at least done a damage to him. So that was one play that we were talking about. But yeah, so I think just once Fiddles activates the first time, then you've got 2 more turns to potentially remove him. But you got so zoned in on this zone that was just overrun with stuff. Like literally after Josh put his second gate there and summoned all of that stuff out, I would have completely given up on this point and then just moved on to the other point.
Yeah, he had 5 or 7 available units on that point. It was not, like, I felt like he overcommitted. I feel like that was actually a mistake on Josh's part.
I completely agree. I thought about that after. I was having trouble placing gates because of the way I had my guys tucked in here.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were just going to keep putting a couple gates back in your own deployment zone, because once you kind of solidified that you had controlled that zone, I personally would have put some insurance on that Fiddle zone.
I'm surprised.
I was like, oh my goodness,
you didn't drop a squad back here and have them hop over the building and end up in this area. Because then you very easily, with your maneuvering in future turns, you could have very easily gone around this way with all my stuff committed over here and scored this back objective.
Yeah, or
that probably would have been looking at that when he displacement indexed his melee squad there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he'd have charged them up from where they're at right now, they could very realistically kill that Weaver and then take that zone.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why I forfeited this, because I figured that he was going to charge this squad. The squad was going to move, kill the Weaver, and then hop into the zone and win the game.
To be honest, I was just going to try and hold down this zone. I didn't think I could get, like, the killing out Weaver is kind of low probability. I don't have Reiteration Complex in my hand. I'm sitting on Arcane Synthesis, Ascension Catalyst, Aggression Theorem, and Velocity Projector. So I could have maybe used the Aggression Theorem to get an extra shot and hopefully kill it, but it was kind of low probability. I just planned, like, once I knew you had to score all 3 to get the draw. My plan was just keep healing the Storm Raptor and hope he can weather the storm.
Yeah.
Strike Raptor, rather.
Yeah.
The Defender Cortex Morningstar, taking the null cannon is a big mistake. I think it needs to be something that has multiple shots or is a blast, because a single shot with it is just not. Even the one time it activates per turn, it just doesn't do anything.
It is rough.
I did bait, so I will say I threw my gate out the turn you nuked all of it off of it. I did throw that out as bait because I was worried about you maelstroming my Strike Raptor, taking away its
null collider.
Its arc and lowering its defense, because its defense is its bread and butter. So I threw out the gate and I was like, hopefully they attack it instead of the Raptor.
Well, it helps that I didn't know until I was suddenly surprised that for every arc on it, it gets +1 defense. I thought it was +1 movement, like the
that's the Dusk
Wolf, right? And that was my mistake. So, because I haven't seen one on the table since playtest of the first Kickstarter. So. So that was my mistake. That's why I shot the gate. But even if I hadn't shot the gate and I'd shot your Strike Raptor, Strike Raptor's defense would have gone down, and then you would have put three points of something in front of it, and I still wouldn't have gotten to the zone.
Yes, I would have just clogged it up, but it would have made this Strike Raptor easier to kill because I had just used Synthesis. So
there was one turn where me and Sneaky were like, "Is he just going to pump out 3 gates and just completely block him off from this zone?"
Pretty much.
Or 3 gates.
3 mantlets. Yeah.
That's when he put that mantlet there. I was like, oh, and there go the mantlets. Mm-hmm. And that's why I killed that. I killed that mantlet right away because the Strike Raptor, most of its weapons are explosive, and that mantlet gave everything within 2 of it +1 armor against explosives. So
yeah, so like the game was real live until the Firebrand activated. Actually, I feel like if you'd have found a way to get Fiddles off the board, like him only getting to activate 3 times the entire game is kind of the key there. And the way that Josh summoned and left everything on that one side, you know, that could have been huge.
Yeah, I tunnel visioned over here. Like, I don't know what I was thinking about that because I know Fiddles is pretty, like, he has 2 damage on him. He's kind of squishy where he's at. So I definitely, like, I just kept thinking about pushing the gate forward to try and get the number 2. But there was a point where I, like, couldn't summon anymore, so I was just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I gave up on trying to kill Fiddles because the 3 times I deployed stuff over there to do it, he annihilated everything that was over there to threaten it.
I was personally surprised that you kept deploying them within Fiddle's range. Because, like, if you don't deploy them within my range, you force me to come off the point to get to them.
Well, I mean, you also have the maneuver where you can move up, shoot, and then move back.
But it's only like 1 inch, isn't it?
And
yeah,
and you had the maneuver up. When I first did it, you had the maneuver up where if I moved within 10 inches of you, you killed me.
Yes, I did use that turn 1.
So yeah, so that wasn't. So to get a gate there, so you have to remember is that the squad that has the best chance of killing that is speed 4.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Annihilators are speed 4.
To be fair, the Enforcers have just as equal a chance to kill. Because he can't get cover anyways. Their cover negation doesn't matter.
It's arm 5 or PAL 4,
PAL 4s, right?
And he was defense 6 the whole time, so no.
No. Fiddles is only defense 3.
He didn't.
You were charged during Pulse Round 2 before you went into Pulse Round 1 and then Pulse Round 2.
I forgot he had that.
So you were defense 6
or whatever.
So no.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Well, that means the Enforcers are even better because they have the kinetic bayonets, which isn't going to give them that extra defense.
They never would have gotten to him. That's my point.
Oh, he's not flying, is he?
No, he's not.
No, he's not. No, so they never would have gotten to him because every squad that deployed to go try and shoot him or attack him died before they did. So they never would have. They would have deployed. He would have killed them because they had to be deploy in range to be able to shoot him, where he could shoot back at them. And when they were able to shoot at him, he's defense 6, so there's no way I can handle that.
Yeah, but there's 2 turns where he can't attack. So those were your money turns. Well, 2 turns per, and 3 turns total where he couldn't attack. But yeah, this was a real interesting game. I know me and Dino had a lot of fun doing the